What up, cappers, gamblers, punters, hustlers, low baggers? Happy Friday, February 4th to all of you. Thank you for watching Betting with the Bag right here on Pub Sports Radio. Our streaks of success for a lot of us came to a crashing halt yesterday. And, with our transparency and honesty, all the records are updated and they all show the struggles of yesterday. Dutch Boy Fresh was the only capper, of the highlighted, showcased ones here on the show that didn't struggle yesterday. He went 2-1, but and the losses hurt more than the wins feel good. We know that, and it's tough to handle. But we've had a lot of success here of late. We've been winning, and these days will happen once in a while. So I don't want to dwell on it. I don't want to go over everybody's. Because we all kind of struggled across the board, and the records indicate that they've been updated. But I want to stop right now because this isn't prolonged losing. This is just a bad day, and I take responsibility. I led us poorly, and it happened. But again, we don't have this prolonged losing, so let's not, beat ourselves up, and let's turn the page and let's attack this Friday card with hope and with confidence, because we've earned that and we've been on a really good run. So thank you guys for joining us. I'm excited about today's show. We have Maxwell Smart joining us in 8 minutes. We have It's Darryl joining us at 1:45, so 35 minutes after Max. So get your college basketball looks in. And this is just part of the game, part of the process. And you see me on the show when I'm struggling, I get really angry, and not going to happen here. It's just one bad day. We turn the page. We're going to find success today. I believe in us, and this is still extremely enjoyable. I made mistakes yesterday, and the Spurs game was blatant, and it, watching that game was like a fucking steak knife, like a sharpened chopstick, just slowly digging into my larynx. Let's move on. Shout out to all the cappers joining us in the show. We got a community of new knowledge, Real Deal Prime, Brian Watson in the house. Justin Android says Nets line dropping from 5.5 to 4.5. Wondering if I should just go money line at plus 160. That is an extremely interesting game. And as you guys know, I want to fade the Nets as much as possible. The line is dropping because Donovan Mitchell is playing. So that's why the line is. Oh, I guess you're saying that. Sorry, the line for Brooklyn is dropping. Let me see what I got. Let me just see what I have right now. Sorry. Wow, down to 4. Why would that be? Donovan Mitchell's in the lineup. Wow, you're right. Why would that be? I thought the line might move the other way. Maybe it's already set up with Donovan Mitchell in, but we'll talk about all of those spots. That's interesting. I've only moved on one spot, I moved on the Raptors minus 1.5, but I did follow Dennis Garcia's guidance, and I moved on the Raptors last night to win the Atlantic at 28-1. I put $100 on that. I only put $25 on Nick Nurse to win Coach of the Year. Probably put safe out of there. I probably should have made at least $50, but the $25 bet pays $1,200. What I didn't bet, and I want to bet, is Scotty Barnes to win Rookie of the Year. He's at 6.5 to 1 right now. Evan Mobley's minus 300. His stats are barely better than Scotty Barnes, and Scotty's on the way up. He's rising. So I haven't moved on that yet. I kind of want to talk it out a bit when we talk about the Raptors, but I plan on moving on that. Justin Android. So sorry, I had that the wrong way. I'm surprised that, now we're talking at 4. I think I might want to move on the Jazz. Rand says inflated total, maybe under in the Nets game. Ryan Kozlowski said Dan Kelly with the sharpest pick yesterday, under 57. They were held to 40 points. Says that was a beauty for Dan Kelly. There's Sammy Culmer in the house. James S. Ron Kozlowski Ryan says Bulls number short versus Pacers. I would be surprised if Levine plays today. And so, because he was dealing with the back troubles anyway. So, I saw that the line was short, and I think there's good reason for it being short. We saw a short line on the Suns yesterday, and that was for good reason. So I'd be hesitant right there. There's Paulie Walnuts, but we'll talk about all of these spots here. great to see everyone. Michael Ervelina, Mark Schillingberg. Yes, yeah, it was a tough day yesterday. There's Dennis Garcia in the house. Tiffany H, great to see you, Tiffany. Henry Dice. We have a great group. Jedi for Life says the Force was not with me last night. Yeah, it hurt. It hurt. There's my guy Bobby Boucher in the house. Hoops 590. Jimmy Gomez says, "Damn, I miss my NHL." You know, and NHL will be back on Monday, and we'll have a full show on Tuesday with a ton of NHL. And so, you know, now we focus on the hardwood and we attack it. And we've been running so hot. It's stupid, you know. There's Von Polo and Nasty Nate. They will be rolling with us in San Antonio. I can't wait to hang with you guys. CT Bays, we need you in San Antonio. Mark Schillingberg, we need you in San Antonio. There is my guy Piker in the house. Michael Ervolina. Okay, thank you guys so much for joining us. And there is Jeff Slaughter running very, very hot in soccer. Says, we hit dinner yesterday. Let's do it again. So he's got his soccer action up there in the chat. Follow him. He's just cashing. Okay, so thank you guys for rolling with us. Yes, Tiffany says it perfect. That's right. Don't dwell on it. It's a new day, new opportunities. Let's get this money. Yes, and look, we've been running so nice. Joshua Wilcox says, can you yell at Jose today? It's been too long. You know, I can't yell at Jose today because he's also coming off a rough day, and it's rare. He's had such a great year. Now he's not up double-digit units anymore. So it's not the right time to yell at him. But I know we all miss it. It's just not the – now, if he does something, if he says something that of course, the only way to reply is to yell at him, then that'll happen. Yeah, Bobby's saying Mitchell back. Danny, we'll get after it. There's Leroy Flood, Rodney Barton, Billy Friedrich, Nut Flush, Allen. We have a great group. Short Shot, Timmy. Okay. Pound Cake Pusha, already bringing in the college basketball action, wanting to talk college basketball. There's Vital says, Heat cover was great last night, but I tried to touch the sun with the Lakers first half last night and just pushed. There's Millsy in the house. Great to see you, Millsy. And Dennis Garcia says, is Jose a 2022 winning capper? Well, that's a good question. I would have to prove that. There's Jay Biz. All right. Millsy says, where's the Long Beach hat at? We'll pull it back out. It'll come back up. All right. Let's get to work, you guys. We have the best college basketball capper in the business, ready to attack this card, ready to be part of this giant bounce back here that will happen today. Remember, it was just one losing day. We've been running so hot. Let's get back to that heat. Let's start the weekend the right way. Please welcome to the show, the Cupcake King, Maxwell Smart.
Ain't no motherfucker in this world could do it like me. Open up your eyes and insert a little rising. You don't have to love me, you don't have to like me. Got enough love in myself, in my psyche. You should have the same in your brain nightly. If you wanna taste, bitch, you can fucking try me. If you wanna hate, bitch, you know where to find me. And if you're going hate this, you can fucking bite me. I'll be cruising in my lane fast, call it high speed. I've been working hard, yeah.
Maxwell Smart. It is Friday, a college basketball card staring us in the face. How are you doing this morning?
Listen, Jim, I don't like coming off a really bad day on both of my shows, but today's one of those days. I literally want to take a barrel of potatoes and find people running at a local gym to whip at because no one's running outside with all this snow on the ground. I literally want to take some of that signature vintage Parkdale pigeon sperm and smear it all over quite a few locals' faces. Today is that day, and we are going to make them squeal like a goddamn piglet.
Yes, I agree with that. I'm happy that the snow fell on the disgusting garbage shit needles that are on the ground here in Parkdale. So I'm excited about that. There's Tony Cobbs. Tony Cobbs with a $5 dono says cupcakes. Let's go, Maxwell Smart. I love it, Tony. I love it. All right. We don't have a lot of games coming in. Get your games in for Maxwell Smart Max. It is time to attack the board. And we start 7 p.m. Eastern. Rotation number 873, 874, Pennsylvania, Columbia. Pennsylvania, 9-point road favorites right now. Pinnacle, there's only been a 4-cent move towards Pennsylvania. This total opening up at 150.5. We see 150 and 149.5, so 149. So again, these are Pinnacle openers, and Pinnacle doesn't put themselves in dangerous situations and doesn't get their lines out that early. Take it away here, Max. Pennsylvania, Columbia.
Yeah, listen, I think that since Columbia got Ike Nakue back, this is a different basketball team. When he was out injured, this team was getting smacked around by Patriot League teams. And now that he's back, he's been on a roll. He's averaging 17-6 on the season. I remember that giant game that he had last time they played Pennsylvania, which was a 21-15 type output. I think that this is a spot where Penn is definitely going to win this game, in my opinion, get their revenge, but I don't think that it's a number that I'm comfortable taking them, especially on Columbia's home floor. We've seen Columbia have problems definitely in first halves and be able to make that comeback in the second. That's why I'm not looking to back them as a first half dog. However, if you were to pull my arm, and I haven't bet this game yet, I would be on Columbia if I'm betting the side.
All right, we are off and rolling. The games are coming in. Next is Hoops 590. Wants to talk San Diego State, Colorado State. This is rotation number 891, 892. This total is fired up, Max. 6 points, 128.5 up to 134.5. Colorado State opening up as 2.5-point favorites, now 3 or 3.5. Take it away.
Yeah, listen, Jimmy, I was not getting fluids extracted last night by a professional. I definitely had to focus on this card and hit these lines, because even me, with my BetBurger notifications coming whenever lines start to get steamed, I missed this line by, I think, 2 points. So I'm on the over in this game. I do think that San Diego State on the road versus Colorado State team is going to have to score. And if this line was in the 140s, I'd be on the under. But it's all about the under, not just what the team trend is when it comes to their total. I think that with San Diego State, the ball does stick in Matt Bradley's hand, and that's a problem. You have some injury issues with this San Diego State team, so you're not at full freaking strength right now, and you need guys like freaking Trey Pulliam and Keyshawn Johnson to really pull their weight. I think that this is a game where Nathan Mensah can have a big game, and I just like the freaking matchup for a little bit more offense. I think that we've seen San Diego State be consistently able to get over that 64, 65 point range mark, and they're going to need to do that in this game against Colorado State if they want to have a chance to stay in it. By my numbers, this is a spot where I think that there is a little bit of value still on taking the over, and I think that Colorado State may end up having a little bit of a signature win at home.
I like it, Max. Also, our friend Twate Latte with a $5 dono. We miss you, Twate Latte in the house. Thank you for your support, my man. All right, Max, let's keep rolling. We got Maxwell Smart here on a Friday. Next up is Pound Cake Pusha. He wants to talk Creighton, Seton Hall. Creighton, Seton Hall. And we have chat talking about this game as we speak. By the way, Pennsylvania, Columbia, Benny 1 of 1 looking at attacking the under in that spot. And we have the chat talking about this spot here. Let's pull up the market and see what Max has to say. Creighton, Seton Hall. We have rotation number 875, 876. This total's dropped from 138 to 135. Seton Hall opening up at Pinnacle at 6.5. Now at 6, Max. Take it away.
Yeah, listen, this is a classic under spot with the way that Creighton plays defense and scores on the road. I think that this Creighton team wants to keep this game under 130. And with Seton Hall, it's all about can they freaking do a little better ATS within conference. I think that on Friday, I don't know what it is. They must be drinking some New Jersey freaking oil fluid, and they seem to freaking man up. I don't like the Seton Hall team. I have extreme bias towards them. However, when I look at this game, the total is what interests me the most. I am worried right now that we're getting to the point that we're going to start to see an over pop up. When we look at Creighton from just like a game log perspective on their totals, when they're lined in this point range of freaking like 133 to 137 and a half, they are very under prone. My UConn Huskies found that out firsthand. And I think that if you're going to give me a free play on Creighton, I'm going to take it. I'm going to take them on the spread, and I'm going to take the under once again. Even though the line has gone down, I can't make it official, but I don't see anything in Creighton's game plan from watching them the other night that's going to change tonight against Seton Hall, who has a very similar roster and is going to be missing Bryce Aiken, who seems to be their freaking lucky goose.
A lucky goose. Raymond Reichart in the chat wondering what weekend San Antonio, Texas is. It's more than just a weekend. It is the 24th to 31st. The 24th, we'll be going to the Sweet 16 in San Antonio with a big group of us. We will have capped the games with Maxwell Smart in the daytime, and we will get paid at night. But that big weekend is the 25th to the 27th. The 25th is the meet and greet at the Southtown. And then our guy Rob Garvey says, please send good vibes my way, recovering from soldier surgery. Good luck today. We love you, Rob. I hope that you get better. I hope they've given you some nice meds to make everything feel a little better, or just smoke your own. But we love you, Rob. I hope you feel better quickly.
Jim, I also hope that they send in a very attractive nurse to take care of you. Mm-hmm. And if you need a sponge bath, even if you don't, that she gives you one.
Yeah, I think that's very important. Hopefully you don't need a sponge bath when you're looking for one. The more you need it, the less opportunity you're going to get for let's keep moving forward. Next up we have Fairfield Monmouth. This is also from Pound Cake Pusha. Fairfield Monmouth, rotation number 885, 886. Monmouth opening up as 7-point favorites, now 6 across the board. The total going from 131 to 134. Fairfield Monmouth, Max.
Yeah, listen, this is a spot that definitely has Fairfield team total written all over it with their improved three-point shooting and the fact that they have a serviceable front court. This is a good game for them to get up and down versus Monmouth. We have seen Monmouth play a fair share of under basketball. I just don't think that in this matchup, it's going to really suit them. I think that the more high tempo they go, the better. I think that that's going to benefit them on the point spread, but from a historical perspective, I just can't take this Monmouth team even at this number. It'd be Fairfield or nothing on the spread.
Fairfield or nothing. Okay, we are rolling through. Pound Cake Pusha wants Fort Wayne, Milwaukee next. That opened up with Purdue, Fort Wayne opening up at 6.5-point favorites. That's gotten to 5.5 at Pinnacle. And this total shot up 2 points from 138.5 to 140.5, Max. Take it away.
Yeah, this is a game where I expect points. I think that we're getting some of the best Milwaukee basketball that they're probably going to play this year, and that's obviously difficult to say without puking all over the table right now. They are doing it without Patrick Baldwin, so it is important to note that. And if they're going to have a chance to win a game, it's probably going to be as a road dog against Purdue Fort Wayne. I think that with Purdue Fort Wayne, the biggest issue for them is getting off to a good start. They've been able to do that for the most part, and I think that this is a team that thrives on being able to play with the lead. And if they're able to do that today, I think that there is some value on taking Purdue Fort Wayne on the first half, making it an official play, and even looking as far as taking a additional first half spread on this game. Because when I broke this game down and then I looked at my numbers, I compared the game logs. This was a first half that Purdue Fort Wayne, if it goes our way, can win and be up by 10 plus points. So if this is going to be a wire-to-wire win, it's going to be a nice one, and we should be getting on the first half additional spread. And I'm willing to go and take the plus 125. I'm willing to take the plus 125 at minus 5.5 for Purdue Fort Wayne as an official play, Jim.
Purdue Fort Wayne, that is a first half minus 5.5 at plus 125.
Yes, sir.
All right, Max is on the board. PFW first half alternate line minus 5.5 at plus 125.
Sorry, Jim. That's available at Bet365, so there should be a lot of people on both sides of the border that can use that.
Perfect. There is Ixnizzle in the house, fresh off catching a couple of beauties last night. He had DeMar DeRozan over 25 points and the Raptors to win at plus 139.
Beautiful
nice job
bets
there. That was a thing of beauty. Next up, we have our man T in the house. He wants – oh, no, sorry. He knows. He knows we don't talk about St. Bonaventure on the show anymore, Max. Against your Richmond Spies. Oh, he's setting up. We're set. Oh, geez. Oh, no.
Oh, God. It's embarrassing to be a Bonnie's fan, Jim. I can't even begin to publicly talk about this team anymore. The Davison game was the straw that broke the camel's back. It's a putrid situation, and I encourage people to bet on Richmond and let the Bonnies disappoint me again, because it's bound to happen. And I'll be watching it right after net profits at 6:00.
Tough, very tough spot for you. Let's keep. Oh,
I could even jump in the lake, Jim. I could even jump in the lake. I don't know if I get through the ice, but I would try.
It's pretty cold out there. There is a game that has been talked about by our Seamus, Ignoramus, and Dabby Cabs, and that is the final game on the card. It's Friday night. This game tips off at 11 p.m. Eastern, 8 p.m. Pacific. It's the perfect game to have some beverages, take your shirt off, and pace back and forth while you watch, all alone in the dark. Nevada, Fresno State 9-point favorites. That hasn't moved. This total opened up at 131 at Pinnacle. It's up to 132, Max. The degenerate special, Nevada, Fresno State.
Well, this is hard for me to bet anything right now because Grant Sherfield and Warren Washington are both Warren Washington's out with the finger injury and Sherfield is questionable with the foot injury. So until I know what's going on there, I can't back or get involved in this game. I think that if you were to say that Sherfield is playing, then I look at Nevada as a big dog and I look at the over. But if he isn't playing, I think that Fresno does a better job than UNLV of beating them from all three levels and turning their defensive prowess into scoring transition buckets. So it's a wait and see right now with the injury issues.
The other spot Dabby Cabs wants to talk about is Miami of Ohio against Akron. Akron right now, 7-point home favorites at Pinnacle, and this total at 137. Max, take it away.
Yeah, listen, I'm surprised that this total's moved down with Akron's ability to score at home. Miami, Ohio, what they do is definitely get to the free throw line and convert. The problem is they're just in a bad form right now. They're only trustworthy as a first half play, and that's about it. Aside from their totals, I will mention this. They have been going over significantly. 4 of the last 5 games have gone over by more than 6.5 points off the closing line. So there is potential to bet the over if the line keeps on coming down. But for me, I can't really make a play on it, knowing that there's still possible value I can get if I wait a little longer and then come back on the over.
Ryan Kozlowski wanting to talk rotation number 863, 864, Western Carolina, Virginia Military, the Catamounts against VMI. VMI opening up as 11-point favorites. A couple books have added the hook, Max. This total's dropped from 156.5 to 153.5. Take it away, Western Carolina, Virginia Military.
Yeah, it's hard to deny why the lines moved down and if that's the right move. We have seen this Western Carolina team become very underoriented. They're doing a better job on the glass, and they're doing a better job of limiting their opponents to under 60 field goal attempts a game. And that's something that they were definitely struggling with at certain points in the season. I think that with VMI, it's really on them to push the tempo to the point that Western Carolina is going to either have to run and gun, put up threes early in the shot clock, or fall behind and lose this game by a big margin. I think that it is a pretty weird number to see VMI at this number, but I think that it's an accurate spot. The best way for me to attack this game is going to be on VMI's team total. I think that VMI at home takes away all the question marks that we have about Western Carolina's defense or lack thereof. And VMI at home, we know what they do offensively. We know Candy Kerfman and Conway and freaking Jake Stevens are going to be effective. 81 or 82.5 seem reasonable. I think VMI gets to 85. So I'll make another play official. I'll take VMI's team total over 82.5, minus 115.
VMI team total over 82.5. Do you say that was minus 115?
Yes, sir.
Okay, I will keep line shopping for that, but we have Max's second spot on the board. VMI team total over 82.5. Next up, we have Galactic High in the house. Galactic High wanting to talk about this Iona Canisius spot. Iona Canisius, Iona opening up as 13.5 point road favorites. That's down to 12. This total sitting at 147 or 147.5. Max, take it away.
Yeah, it's definitely a spot where I have trouble putting my money on Iona on the road. I think that in a game like this, are they going to really care about dominating and winning by heavy margin? All they care about is winning this game. The real question is Canisius going to be able to find a three-point shot and be effective scoring inside the paint versus this Iona defense? I'm just not sure. I think that when I look at the number, it doesn't inspire me to take Iona as a side, and this game could be an under spot. That's how Canisius is played, so the team totals also didn't provide any value. If I'm going to bet anything in this game, I'm going to bet Iona first half as a favorite and then go from there.
And we have Sammy line shopping for you, and we can get you a team total over 82.5 at plus 101. Plus 101 at Pinnacle, 16 cents better. Great job, Sammy. Thank you for doing that.
Appreciate that, Sam.
Team total over 82.5 at plus 101. Yes, Cashman 19. We did talk Fresno State, Nevada, just about 7 minutes ago or so.
Yeah, it's a wait and see spot because of the injury to Grant Sherfield and Warren Washington.
Yeah, well put. Let's keep rolling. Next up, our guy, Unc Oliver, a.k.a. Lucky Lefty, in the house wanting to talk Manhattan, Niagara. Let's pull that up here. And there we go. Rotation number 881, 882. Niagara opening up as 5.5 point road favorites. That's where we have them right now. This total has dropped from 134 down to 132.5 or 132 max. It is juiced pretty heavily to the 132.5 at minus 114 at Pinnacle. So it looks like it'll go down to 132 there. Take it away, Manhattan, Niagara.
Yeah, this is one of the spots I jumped on the overnight lines and did get on the under. I do think that Manhattan has reverted back to a little under basketball going up against this Niagara team at home. I do think that there is a possible situational letdown spot, but I just don't think that it's going to happen. I think that you're going to see a very effective first half defense come out and really clamp down. I do think that when you look at the 3-point shooting, that is where Niagara is going to be able to make their bread and butter. And if they can keep Manhattan off the free throw line, I do think it's going to be a low scoring game.
Next up, Tony Cobbs wanting to talk Princeton Cornell. Cornell opening up as a 1-point favorite at Pinnacle, now 2.5 point dog. So we've seen the switch. The total's gone from 158 down to 157, Max. This is rotation number 869, 870. Princeton Cornell, take it away.
Yeah, personally, I don't know why the line is moving the way that it is. I think that with Cornell, I think that the key for them was getting Jordan Jones back. And when he's back in the lineup, that's when this team's at its best. And I think that going on the road and being able to beat Brown definitely showed that. While he didn't have the most effective game, he definitely creates a lot of shooting opportunities for other guys on this team. I think that with Cornell's ability to get to the free throw line and crash the glass, the biggest issue is going to be, can they limit their turnovers? If they're able to limit their turnovers versus this Princeton team who is very effective at scoring the basketball, I do think Cornell's going to have some value here. I haven't looked hard enough at this game to see why this line has moved. So unfortunately, the only thing that I can say is that I'd be fading the line movement as a lean right now.
Yeah, that's a big move when the favorite becomes a dog. It's a different than just a 3-point move without it switching over. Let's talk rotation number 899-900. Again, get your games in. We have a little bit more time with Maxwell Smart. 899-900, and this is from our guy Res Mob, whom we love dearly. Res Mob in the house. Okay, 899-900. Oakland, Northern Kentucky. Oakland opening up as a 3-point favorite. That's moved to 3.5, and this total is climbing. Open at 137 in Pinnacle, all the way up to 140.5. Take it away, Oakland, Northern Kentucky.
Yeah, listen, this was a game that got postponed from yesterday because of snow. I think that with Oakland, they definitely have some value to me. And I'm going to go right back to what I talked about yesterday. I'm going to take Oakland first half. I'm going to make an official play. I think that with Jalen Moore and company, they're able to score the basketball, get inside, get to the free throw line, and not have their lack of depth tested. On the other side, we are going to see a quality Northern Kentucky team because they're healthy. They're capable. Marquise Warwick and Trevon Faulkner are in the lineup. Sam Vincent has emerged and is a very competent X factor. And I just think that this Northern Kentucky team finally is healthy and you're seeing the best of what they can do. I think, though, in this game, Oakland has the X factor in the best player on the front court in Jamal Cain and the best point guard of the two in freaking Jalen Moore. So I'll ride with Oakland first half as the official play, Jim.
Oakland first half. I'm going to line shop for that. Let's keep rolling here. We have James Mendoza wanting to talk Toledo and Ball State. He says, take the over tonight, full game. And then we have Galactic High wondering if Toledo at -8.5 is the look. Toledo, Ball State. Let me get this up here. And there we go. Rotation number 893, 894. Toledo opening up as 9-point road favorites. That's down to 7.5 at Pinnacle. This total sitting at 155.5 right across the board, Max. Take it away, Toledo, Ball State.
Yeah, listen, I think that when you look at Toledo, we've been making so much money with them, and they don't have a real test the way that Boise State had last night going into Wyoming. We've already seen Toledo be very effective on the road. I think that we continue to see it. What's been working for me is 3 bets. Toledo team total over, Toledo first half, Toledo full game. I hate to sound as square as that. I just don't think that this front court of Cedric Milner and J2 Shoemate is going to be able to be stopped. Whether they're scoring inside or hitting threes from the perimeter, they are fierce. They have a bunch of guys that they can throw bodies out there to really freaking protect guys if they get into foul trouble. I like the fact that Keyshawn Saunders, a fellow Canadian of ours, is on the roster, even though he's not playing a significant role right now. However, I just have to go and just move with what's working for me. This Toledo team is really unmatched right now. We thought that Ohio would be the one team that can really put a freaking pin in their freaking casket. Didn't happen. So I'm just going to ride with what's work and take the favorite first half full game in the team total. I'll make the team total official for the show at 81.5 -120.
81.5 at -120 for a team total for Toledo over. And we'll keep line shopping there as well. By the way, you have an option with Oakland. You could get the first half -1.5 at -105. But the 1 is -115. The only reason why I bring it up as an option is the other books have 1.5 at -115 or 114. What would you prefer, -1 at -115 or -1.5 at -105?
-1.5 at -105, please.
All right, and -1.5 at -1. Oh, sorry, first half -1.5 at -105. And Maxwell Smart beating college basketball on this show, and he has an average line of +101. Keeping the VIG down a priority for Maxwell Smart. Poker Addicted, aka Seamus Ignoramus, says Toledo seems to hit 83 each game with no questions asked. James Mendoza says, same Toledo. I've been riding the wave. And we got razor sharp picks in the house as well. Check out his show tonight, baby. Friday night, Cash It Fridays. It's so much fun. Have a drink. You can live bet sports with the guys while you're hammering the horses. It's so much fun. I got to be a part of it last Friday. It was
I go in the chat also, and then I ask Jimmy to take a shot every time he's on. I'm like, Jimmy, take a shot. Jimmy, take a shot.
I got very polluted. Last Friday. Very polluted, but I did cash 79-1 exacta, like second race in. I only had $4 on it, but whatever, man. I was paid out $317.80, and it got me a rolling. Okay, Max, let's keep firing at the board here. Next up, we have Soupy Panties wanting to talk Dartmouth, Yale. This game pops up at 5 o'clock. So we already talked about the last game on the board, the Degenerate Special. This is the game that can either start your Friday if you're on the East Coast, just get off work, or if you're on the West Coast, can get you through the last couple hours of work. This is rotation number 861, 862. Yale opening up as 8-point home favorites. That's moved to 7.5. And this total, Max, has gone from 134.5 to 136.5. Take it away, Dartmouth, Yale.
Yeah, I'm a little biased in this game because Aaron Ray from Markham, Ontario is going to be playing in this game and starring in this game. And Aaron Ray has had a very decent season. You know, he's averaging 12-7. He's been able to freaking facilitate a little. And at 6'6" and over 200 pounds, he's a big body. He can get into the paint. He can get what he needs to do. And he can go and play turnover less basketball, and that's the key for him. He's coming off 2 really nice games. I think that he's going to be able to carry that on, and the only way I'm looking to play this from a spread perspective is to take Dartmouth. Dartmouth's been good to me. Dartmouth's been good to their backers, and I'm rolling with Big Green, so give me the dog with Dartmouth.
Next up, we have Ryder Siena, rotation number 877, 878. Siena opening up as 5-point favorites, now down to 4 at Pinnacle. It's a very juiced 4. So basically 4.5 across the board. This total's come from 131.5 up to 135.5. Max, take it away, Ryder Siena.
Yeah, this is a spot where I jumped on the overnights. I think that this was just too low of a number. I have this game getting into the 140 range. I think that with Siena, we have seen some better 3-point shooting. We've seen Anthony Gaines after a couple freaking no-shows. Now he's had a couple shows. So just like a goddamn contractor, you never know what you're going to get. And hopefully it's going to be good for me and good for the team tonight. I think that with Jackson Stormo in the middle, this is a guy that you can really have as your focal point of your offense, and then surround him with guys that can break guys off the dribble or score from the wing areas. Siena at home is a different animal. I think that if this line was in the 7.5, 8-point range, I'd be a little more hesitant to back them. However, I'm backing Siena full game. They haven't been the best starters, but they've been very good finishers. And on their home court tonight against this Ryder team who's healthy and capable, you know, I don't think that the absence or potential absence of Jason Kellier is going to be a big freaking difference maker. So I'll roll with the Saints at home one more time, and just give me the best line you can get so we can make it official on the show, Jim.
All right, Siena full game. By the way, Max, we got you that team total over a point less at Pinnacle, 80.5, but still juiced to the -120. I wonder if, you know what? Maybe I wonder if we can. No, we can't. Okay. All right. Let's keep rolling, Max. Look at Max breaking down every single game on the card for you guys. This reminds me of old times, Max, firing through. Now, there's going to be a lot of market movements. There's injury stuff. So there's going to be a ton to listen to at 5 p.m. alongside Connor Mack when he decides what other moves he's going to pull the trigger on. So we have on the entire card. I didn't know we were going to do this, Max. You are flying through it, and I love it. Next up, we have 2 games left We have Billy Friedrich wanting to talk Green Bay, Cleveland State. Green Bay, Cleveland State. Where is it here? There we go. Rotation number 871, 872. Cleveland State opening up as 12.5-point favorites. This total opening up at 134, now down to 133, Max. Green Bay, Cleveland State.
Yeah, listen, I just don't feel comfortable laying this type of number with Cleveland State. They've had a bit of a rough road when it comes to the recent schedule, and I would say a bit of a gauntlet that they had to play. You know, when you got to play Oakland, Youngstown State, Wright State, and Northern Kentucky all in the same time period, you know, you are facing the best of what is a subpar Horizon League. I think that Cleveland State obviously does struggle at times with their offense. I think that this is a game that they can really get right with. And the team total is something that I've definitely looked at. I have been able to pull the trigger, but at the end of the day, this is a Green Bay team that definitely is not going to be at a town advantage. Are they going to be able to score against Cleveland State's variety of defenses and different lineups that you're going to see? I think that when you look at Lucas Stieber, you look at Emmanuel Ansong, these guys are definitely going to have to show up, or Green Bay is going to have a rough time. I think that if Green Bay was a 14, 15-point favorite, to be a lot easier to get on them right now. However, I'm having trouble freaking pulling the trigger. I think that the one precedent that's really standing out for me is that Cleveland State as a double-digit favorite has not been good. When you look at the game against freaking Robert Morris, the games against freaking Purdue Fort Wayne, you know, there's precedent to take Green Bay. I just can't pull the trigger yet. So if you want a lean, if you want to beat it out of me, I would take the under, and I would take Green Bay as the dog.
I love it, Max. Just one game left on this card. James Mendoza says, forget the weather here in San Antonio. Sports betting and poker night for me. James, you got to run with us in San Antonio. That's all we're going to be doing at the Southtown 101. Max, Mr. Jeff Slaughter is wondering if you would drip honey all over these tenders. It is a parlay. Toledo money line, Akron money line, Dartmouth plus 7.5, equaling a plus 223 parlay. Is that honey drip worthy?
Mr. Slaughter, that is absolutely Dr. Mandy without her top on quality right there. That is Popeye's chicken tenders and organic honey. Sort of like the honey that I have here. It's perfectly thin enough to dip your chicken tender and not get your fingers too sticky. I think that that's what kind of parlay you got right there. And if Aaron Ray from Markham, Ontario can make it happen for you to make that freaking shit sing, then fuck yeah. Ladies of the night are going to be popping balls of champagne when you walk into the cat house.
That sounds like he likes it. It sounds like he likes it. The very final game on the board, Max, is Detroit Mercy, Wright State. Wright State opening up as 4-point favorites. A couple books have added the hook, and the others have juiced the -4. It's minus 117 now at Pinnacle, so you can imagine the hook is coming there. And the total's gone from 151.5 to 148.5 for 148. Max, take it away.
Yeah, I'm still very biased against this Wright State team. I just won't lay numbers with them. I just don't want to do it. Obviously, they did cover against Purdue Fort Wayne. I think that they do have a bit of a stiffer test when they go up against Detroit, and that's because Antoine Davis is that big of a difference maker. I do worry that they're not going to have Noah Waterman. After doing more research, I did realize that he had been absent, so Antoine Davis is going to have to be able to lead this team from a 3-point perspective. You do have other freaking dishes in the cupboard to use, so you don't have to wash the same dish over and over again when I'm talking about scoring personnel. Detroit's at their best when they're getting to the free throw line, and this Wright State team will give them opportunities to do so. On the defensive side of the basketball, they have to stop Tanner Holden. Tanner Holden is the difference maker for this Wright State team. Grant Basile has been very inconsistent over the last couple games, so if you take away his dribble drive penetration and you do a good job of closing out on his jump shots on the perimeter, I do think that Detroit can pull the upset here. So let's go with a dirty, sticky dog, and let's hope that it barks tonight, unlike those sons of bitch Rainbow Warriors named Hawaii, aka Mutants.
There you have it. You just watched Max quickly break down each and every game on the card. That is so impressive, Max. 5 official picks we have on the board. I could get you Siena -4.5 at -108, Max. Is that enough?
Oh, that sounds like a nice number because that's the juice that I'm going to pay for it.
Beautiful, beautiful. There you have it. Siena -4.5 at -108. He's also on Purdue Fort Wayne first half on the alternate line -5.5 at +125. He's on the VMI team total over 82.5 at +101. Oakland first half -1.5 at -105, and Toledo team total over 80.5 at -120. There's our guy Fat Wally. He says, "They're my guys. Thanks for the breakdown. Show support. Press like button. If I can press it from the hospital room, still in the hospital, Fat Wally." We're sending you as much love and positivity as possible. We can't wait to hang out and party with you in San Antonio. Get better fast. Know that you're loved. Get better fast. Get home. And then meet us at the Southtown. Big shout out to our guy, Fat Wally. If everybody in the chat could send him as much love as possible. There's Suze387 who says, Hawaii fudged me too. Suze387 living in Hawaii. Max, spectacular work. Every game on the card for us today. What a treat. Any final words to inspire us as we go into the weekend?
Yeah, listen, I think that you should all print out pictures of your locals' faces, put them on a wall that you don't have anything on, and just spit on it, stab it with a knife, throw things on it, punch it with your fists. It will make you feel good. It will save you time and effort by not having to see a therapist of any type. And you know what? I'm going to eat some steak today because Gus is going to be paying me today, and he's sending his girlfriend in the snow because he's just a piece of shit. So fuck you, Gus. I love your girl. One day she will leave you for me when I have more of your money. So maybe today I'll add to that.
Beautifully put. There he is, Maxwell Smart. Follow him on Twitter at CBMS420 and check out his show Monday to Friday, 5 p.m. Eastern, NCAA Net Profits alongside Connor Mack. We go from NCAA basketball to NBA basketball. And our man, Darryl, was on a massive 16-game winning streak here on spreads and had his first tougher day on Wednesday. But if you follow him on Twitter, he pulled the trigger on the trifecta with the Memphis Grizzlies. He gave out the full game here on the show, but he tagged us, he tagged Pub, and he said, I've decided to move on the trifecta, which cashed very easily. First quarter, first half, full game. He is a must follow on Twitter, a selfless capper, only looking for us to all cash together. And now he's on the show right now, Friday, and I'm coming off a rough day in NBA. I need guidance. I need help. I have made one move. I want to make more. This is the man for the job. Coming to us live from Los Angeles, California. Please welcome Daryl Rice, the house, baby.
Yo. What is good, Jay? What is good? What is good to everybody in the chat, man? Happy fucking Friday. I'm happy about that shit. Yeah. Not happy about this card, so you know I had to grab this.
Oh, no. Oh, no.
I had to, man. This card is terrible, but I'm happy to be back, man. Happy to be alive. Any day on this side of the day is a good day. Any day on this side of the grass. But yeah, let's get into it, man. Let's get into it, man. Shout out to everybody in the chat.
I have so much work to do today, Darryl, and I think
I had to, bro. I had to.
Jesus. All right. Okay. Oh God. All right, Darryl, it's all you for a minute.
I see. Oh God, is that Jose?
Yes, I'm joining you for a bit. Hello, Darryl. How are you?
I'm good, man. Let's talk some hootie shoops.
Yeah, let's do it. First game, conveniently enough, my Celtics.
Wait, whoa.
About this,
dog. What are you wearing, man?
What am I wearing?
What the hell is that?
Fucking comfortable. Look at this, dude. It's like a snuggie that you wear. I've got pockets, little Sherpa. Oh,
what is that? Are you like in the Winter Olympics or something?
I wish I was. It's cold as hell in San Antonio. But whatever. By the way, here's some betting advice for people. The Celtics, they stink. Don't bet the Celtics.
What is he talking
really
about,
bad.
man?
They've been the most average team ever. Last year, here's a stat, Darryl. Over the last year, they are about one game over 500, including the playoffs, the last full year of playing basketball. It's crazy. They're an average team. They stink. Don't bet the Celtics. But Jason Tatum is an all-star. That's all that matters.
All right.
can't,
Thank you for that, Jose. I only have a little bit of Kraken, so I have to pull out a Sapporo to wash it down. This was not the plan. I'll tell you that much. I have a lot of work to do today.
Jay,
But,
I told you, man. I told you. I looked at this card last night and saw some. I'm like, nah, fuck this.
Well, the last time we did this, I had a very successful day. Let's get the Kraken in me. Darryl, let's get to work. Let's find some winners. Let's get that cash.
Let's try to get it, man. Let's try to get it. It was a good night yesterday, you know.
Hiya! Hiya! Woo-hoo! Oh, God.
You got to chase that, man.
Woo-hoo!
Yeah.
All right, let's get right to work here.
Let's get right to work, man. Yeah.
We start at 7 p.m. Eastern. Boston Celtics 28-25, 10-15 on the road at the Detroit Pistons, 12-38, 8-16 at home. We're at Little Caesars Arena in Detroit, Michigan. Boston 4-1 over their past 5, 19th in pace at 97.7 possessions a game, while Detroit 1-4, 7th in pace over their last 5 at 99.70 possessions a game. Let's move over to the NBA and see what we are dealing with here. Odds-wise, we'll go to spreads and totals. Okay, we have Boston opening up as 8.5-point favorites. That's moved to 9.5. This total opened up at Pinnacle at 213.5 and is up to 215. Then we'll go to the cash flow here in NBA and see where the cash lies. Boston Celtics, there's 5,182 tickets in. This is interesting. We've seen a 1-point move towards the Celtics, but 36% of the tickets are on the Pistons and 58% of the cash is on the Pistons. I wonder if Cade Cunningham will be returning for this. 92% of tickets and 98% of cash is on the over. Nasty Nate says Celtics smash. Boston's won 5 of 6, coming off their third straight win, 113-107 at home over Charlotte on Wednesday night. And the very important note of that victory was that Tatum and Brown both played poorly. And
which is weird. They won, and they didn't play that good.
And it's a sign that this team is coming together, unlike the information that Jose passed along. The Pistons are on the second half of a back-to-back after they lost to the Mavericks 128-117 at home last night. Cade Cunningham missed the game due to a right hip pointer. He's listed as questionable.
Yeah.
Frank Jackson goes for 25. Jeremy Grant had 20 in the second game recovering from thumb surgery. I'm going to enjoy this delicious ice-cold beer. Thank you, Kyle Hintlian, for the dono, my friend, while you break down this game. Take it away, Darryl. First game on the card, Celtics Pistons. Let's go.
Yeah, man. So it's definitely a Boston side. And I was looking at something to try to find an angle because I think a lot of people are going to be afraid of this line. You missed it now. I mean, I'm seeing 9s, 9.5s, right? So if you didn't get on it early, you might have missed a little bit of value here. My whole point was if Boston could beat Charlotte by 6 points and you get the push, depending on where you got that number when they played, I don't see how they couldn't beat Detroit by 8, 9 points on a back-to-back, right? I don't see it. The problem is Boston on the road is kind of scary, but I wouldn't be afraid of it because of how well they've been playing as of late. Boston's looking good. They are looking good as a team. And so if you are afraid of the number, really don't be, right? So I lost it. I would rather have had the 8. You know, at this point, it's probably a lot higher than my comfort. But if I had to choose a side, it would be Boston. The thing is I wonder if this line is going up because you possibly have Cade come in, right? He didn't play last game. That hip or, that waist, whatever you want to call it, man, that's kind of a serious injury to a certain degree to where, I mean, it's definitely going to affect your mobility, right? So I thought maybe let me see if I can see how, where this line is going. If I could probably try to catch Detroit in a good spot. And that would have been Detroit first quarter, because of how these teams play in the first quarter. They're almost neck and neck as far as points scored in the first quarter. But if you look at the last few games, man, Boston has got up and they've held people really low scores in the first quarter, right? So Boston's actually doing good first quarter spreads. So I looked at some angles, but I didn't see anything that was too comfortable for me to grab, man. I really, really wanted to get there with the Detroit Pistons first quarter for plus money. But really, man, this game, I'm off now. I don't want any smoke in this game.
Either do I. Boston playing at 19th pace in the NBA. I know they're not the home team, but they're the better team. So we expect them to probably dictate the pace. Are you surprised that this total has gone from 213.5 up to 215?
Well, I mean, me not really being a totals guy, I'm thinking that, Boston's playing great defense right now. And, Detroit is not going to really give you much of anything, even though these I've told you already, they're dogs, right? They do play ball, but they suck. They still suck. So it's a little surprising, but how the market moves as far as totals, I really haven't gotten. So, nothing should surprise you in the NBA at this point with all the fuck shit that goes on behind the scenes and even in front of our eyes.
Nutflush on saying take a long, hard look at the Celtics team total over 111.5. Thinking about that in a situation where we have a huge favorite, I would prefer the first half team total over 54.5.
That could be a good play. Yeah, that could. What gave me cause for pause even on the first half was how I saw Boston play against Charlotte, right? Which is what influenced my Charlotte pick, really. Boston was up. The game seemed like it was moving slow. And then all of a sudden, Boston just started making shots. And next thing you know, it was 27 to 22 or 29 to 22, one of those in the first quarter. And then for whatever reason, man, Charlotte turned that around, right? And they got it really close in the first half. And I believe Boston didn't even cover that first half spread. So if you think of how the pace of this game is going to go, they would really have to hold Detroit, which I believe they can, to, maybe 19, 21 points. They've done it already. If you look at the teams they've held some low scoring points in the first quarter to some teams already in their most recent games. But the only reason why I didn't jump on it is also what Atlanta had did to Boston. So Atlanta, when they had played, they was up by 12 in the first quarter. Boston only scored 20 points. Right. But then Boston turns around and you look at how they played against New Orleans, which could be one of those games, man. New Orleans put up 15 points to their 27. So something for sure is Boston's going to at least give you 26, 27 points. But Detroit is also averaging that amount as well. So it was something that I don't think I had a competitive advantage on. So, I'm off of it.
I'm starting to get higher on this first half and full game team total over. I'm going to study it a little bit more. There's our guy, Talk Sports with JT, says, let's get this morning show to 200 likes. Let's show that the pub chat is the best. Continue to get work, Jimmy. JT, we love you, man. I know you're excited about baseball season. Hopefully it starts on time, but come down to San Antonio and party with us, man. I can't wait. We got Big Ragu and DJ Big Boss in the chat right now. They'll both be in San Antonio rolling with us. Remember that very first night of Pubapalooza, the 24th, we are all going to the Sweet 16, baby. I can't wait. Okay, I'm leaning towards these first half team total over. Excuse me. And I'm not against that full game team total over. I'm interested. I'm very, very interested. Let's move on. Next on the board, 7 p.m. Chicago Bulls, 32-18, 13-12 on the road at the Indiana Pacers, 19-34, 13-14 at home at Gainbridge Fieldhouse in Indianapolis, Indiana. Chicago 3-2 over the past 5, 17th in pace at 97.86 possessions a game. Indiana 2-3, second in pace at 102.07 possessions a game. You can say that this spread is fishy.
It is, man.
Very, very fishy. The first thing when I was capping it was I watched the Bulls last night. I don't expect Zach LaVine to be in the lineup. He was laboring last night and he's dealing with lower back issues. And I do not expect him to be in the lineup. But what we've seen often is these books give out a line where it feels like they want to take a certain type of cash. And here it certainly looks like they want people to back the Bulls. The Bulls right now have no VIG at Pinnacle. And that is a red flag. -2.5 and -102. I mean, wow. That is a big, big red flag. It was -3 when I got up in the morning. And when I got up in the morning, I thought, I think the Pacers are going to be live here. And I was like, oh, shit. So do the books. So there's 6,115 tickets in. 75% of the tickets and 74% of the cash are on the Bulls. And the market's moving towards the Pacers. I mean, these are red flags dripping all over it. I'm not sitting here saying, look, I'm going to sit here and back the Pacers. But then we have 51% of the tickets on the under and 99% of the cash. Now, we don't have that much in yet, so we will see. That Fenn says that 231.5 seems high. It's not there anymore. It's down to 229.5. It has dropped. But money's on the over. So very tricky market shit going on here. Bulls are on the second half of back-to-back after losing 127-120 to the Raptors last night in overtime. That win, I don't think I know, Daryl, that the character of the players on the basketball team is probably more important to the fan base than to what actually happens on the court. And the Raptors team that won the championship was, my favorite Raptors team ever. I mean, it's easy to say after they won the championship, but they were such likable guys. This Raptors team is my favorite Raptors team character-wise of all time. Now, my favorite Raptors team was Charles Oakley and Antonio Davis. But then Antonio Davis said he didn't want his children to learn the metric system. So obviously, Antonio Davis is a fucking idiot.
Yeah.
So when he said that, now he said he didn't want his children singing the Canadian national anthem. I had no problem with that because with our kids singing the anthem every morning. Sure, yeah. I mean, that might be, but you don't want your kids to learn the metric system? What the fuck is wrong with you? So, but I still love that basketball team because Oakley and Davis would be so, but I digress. This Raptors team makes my heart fucking sing. And we'll get into that spot in a second. Vucevic turned in another big performance, 30 and 18. It didn't matter. I do not expect Zach LaVine to be in the lineup. He played 42 minutes yesterday, 15.7 assists. Pacers come off losing their second in 3 games, 119-118 at home versus the Magic on Wednesday night. Terry Taylor making a name for himself, 24 and 16. Sabonis missed his 3rd straight game. He's in health and safety protocol. So no Miles Turner, no Badadzi, no Brissett, and Isaiah Jackson listed as day-to-day. This is wild. Can you make some sense of this?
Yeah, man. I don't give a shit about this game. I don't. But this one is tricky. So just looking at the numbers, right? I believe that the Pacers can get it done, even though I would never put my money on the Pacers, right? If you don't have any Zach there, if you got all this steam on Chicago and that line's not budging, then that's telling. This is what's crazy, though. Indiana, remember, we've talked about them being that high-scoring first-half team. You know what's happening now to Indiana? They are allowing a lot of points in the first half. They are allowing a lot of points in the first half, man. The last 3, they're averaging about 60. You know who else is allowing a lot of points in the first half? Chicago. Chicago is allowing a lot of points in the first half. They're almost even, right? So if you look at the opponent's points in the first half, in the last 3, they're both sitting at about 60, man. Right? So if you don't have Zach in there, right? If you don't have pretty much anyone available for the Pacers, I mean, this could possibly get out of hand. This is something that I'm looking at. I wanted you to look at. It wasn't an official play. I hit it barely. But what's Ayo's points props?
God, he looked really good last night.
Yeah,
He
what's his
looked really
points
good.
props?
And, part of the reason is there's people who look really bad against a bunch of 6'8" defenders in the Raptors. Ayo does not look bad against them.
Bro. He does not.
He's right in his perfect spot. He's going to be a hell of a basketball player in his career, I believe.
I want to try to jump on this train and catch it while it's starting to roll, but I think you can make money now off of his points props until the books adjust to it. I got his points props at 9.5 yesterday, went over. That was a personal play I made, hit it, right? I know the game before that he had only hit 7, but it's certain teams he can play against. So I'm curious to see where his props are in points right now.
They're not dropping it at Bet365,
Mm-hmm.
Because of the Levine situation. Because I don't
Yeah.
think Levine's going to be in. So I just saw my record on the screen and just it felt like a stake through the heart. I'd just be moving in the right direction and it fell apart. Shout out to Wham Bam in the chat. Yeah, Jay Money, of course, Wham Bam going to be in San Antonio. Wham Bam.
Jay Money is in here?
Yeah, Jay Money in the chat.
Jay,
Jay
shut
Money,
the
truth,
fuck
man.
up.
Yeah, man. Jay Money.
Shut up, man. Jay goat, bro.
He's the real deal, man. Last time we did a big party together in Miami, Jay Money rolled through Miami. I love him. I absolutely love him, and he's and his trajectory in this business that's just gone like this is so richly deserved. He's earned everything that he's got. And
I know we have these side chats, right? And I know I do talk a lot. What I mean, our side chats is just these little discussions that we have without talking ball. Let me take you behind the curtain really quick here.
Sure.
Right? I'm going to take you behind the curtain 2 minutes, only because I believe in giving respect to where respect is due. I started capping really late, right, in my career. And the reason why is because there was 2 guys that I had seen cap and ball. One of them was Jay and the other one was Ski, right? And I had never seen black men cap ball, right? I was just so late. All the black men I had seen capping really when I was living in Vegas there weren't any that I had seen, and 2, they were all betting horses, right? They were all betting horses. So somebody that had always inspired me to pick up a pen and write notes down was that motherfucker right there, Jay Money and Ski Profit. So salute to y'all. Wham, that dude, I remember seeing Wham years ago, man. He's always been a very integral part of my capping as well. Very down-to-earth brother. Never even personally met Wham, but that's one dude's hand I want to shake when I see him in San Antonio.
Oh man, Wham is so magic. Like I know we got to get back to capping, but my dad had the chance to have a beer with Wham and Big Boss, and my dad's a pretty, he's not open. He doesn't have a lot of friends. He's tight knit. He's just he'd rather just be reading alone.
Yeah, I gotta meet Big Boss.
He just opened up immediately and he just laughing hysterically. He just loved every second with him. But we got to cap.
Yeah, let's cap, man. Let's cap.
Yeah, we got to cap. But these guys, when I first met them in Vegas, they'll tell you I was like, you guys are the future. This is a tired, old, boring medium. Fucking boring. Old, white, and fucking boring. And so I believe in them enormously. I believe in you enormously. Let's go, though. Bulls, Pacers. It's interesting that Nutflush Allen is talking about the under with the Bulls without Levine, the team total under, because maybe the Pacers don't dictate the pace. I know you're talking about the over here. Let's just see.
No, you know what the problem is. And Carlisle had already said it, man. Carlisle already said it. The problem, if you look at the last game that they had played, Carlisle said we just tanked in the third. And ad nauseum that we've been talking about Pacers not being a second half team. That started from that Charlotte game at the beginning of the season when they went on that 27-0 run. Carlisle didn't even call a fucking timeout, right? So this team always scores points in the first half. They're still top 5, even though they've been going down a little. I wouldn't take anything on the first half. I would just take, if the line seems fishy, man, I would just take Chicago Bulls to win this game because Pacers are going to probably do something stupid second half. But, that's neither here nor there. I don't want this fucking game.
No, that's very much here because you've been cashing on the Pacers early in the season. You sort of stayed off of it when McConnell got hurt, and that made sense. But if you watch the way the Pacers played the Magic, the Pacers were all over the Magic in the first quarter and the first half, and this now maturing Magic squad got their shit together and
they did
ended up winning the game. Why wouldn't we back the Pacers first quarter, first half here? Or why wouldn't we believe in the Pacers early in this spot against a tired Bull squad?
Because I mean, the opponent's average right now, I mean, these cats, there's no defense, right? So just who has the better shooting percentage rate in the last 3? Look at that. Who's shooting better? Who's shooting better right now? If you're going to do something first half. I mean, Bulls off a back-to-back. I don't care about this fucking game. We're talking too much about this goddamn game. You know, I'm not gonna play it. So I
We have a special guest up next making his debut here on Betting with the Bag. He's being called the chlamydia of COVID, a weakling but highly contagious. Please welcome your next guest, the Omicron variant.
Ah, how dare you? What kind of an intro is that? Why aren't you wearing a mask? Why don't you respect me? Why doesn't anybody respect me? You should be home from work, home from school. You should be singing John Lennon songs and telling each other you're all in it together. Why don't you respect me?
Look, Omicron, you're a bit of a pussy. We've all had you. We've gotten over you. We're better now. This is a show about winners, and we have NBA on the docket on Friday, a big day on the hardwood. Are you making moves? Do you have a game for us?
Well, listen here, Jimmy. It's true. I don't kill as many of you as the Delta variant did. But that doesn't mean that I can't murder your bookmaker. Yes. I'll make you sick as a dog. You mess with me. A dog just like the Cleveland Cavaliers coming into today's matchup with the Charlotte Hornets. Cleveland catching 4.5 off of a loss. Oh, off of a loss where they're very strong. 19-10-1 with equal rest. 11-8-1 off of a loss. They're 15-10 on the road and 11-5-1 against the spread as a road dog. And they haven't lost back-to-back since New Year's Eve. What the hell is Charlotte going to do about Jared Allen and Evan Mobley? They'll cover them up like a cloth mask. Charlotte will be like little germs that can't get through. Oh, yes. Charlotte is 2-4 against the spread their last 6. They're 1-4 against the spread their last 5 at home. And they're 28th overall in opponent effective field goal percentage. Jimmy, for Christ's sake, there's only 30 fucking teams. They play no defense. They just had a brilliant game by LaMelo Ball, who went off for 38 points. They still lost the fucking game outright. This is not a complete team. But the Cleveland Cavaliers, now that's a team that washes their hands. And they will wash their hands of Charlotte. Mark my words. Oh, when they don't wash their hands, there's no fans in the stands. And I'll ruin your plans. And I'm here for that, man. I'm the Omicron. I'm the only one. Until the next one, anyway. Long live the pandemic.
There you have it, the Omicron variant on the Cleveland Cavaliers plus 4.5. If you cash this, we will welcome you back. If this is a loser, well, then you just go fuck yourself, I guess. Because we know
Jimmy, wear a mask. Wash your hands, you filthy Canadian, you.
Omicron on the Cavs on the road, Darryl. Cavs 31-21, 15-12 on the road. Charlotte Hornets 28-24, 14-8 at home. We're at the Spectrum Center in Charlotte, North Carolina. Cleveland 3-2 over their past 5, 30th in pace, last in the league, 94 possessions a game. Charlotte 2-3, third in pace, 102 possessions a game. Still 4.5. There is a lot of talk that Gordon Hayward will be making an appearance tonight, but that hasn't changed the spread at all. From a total perspective, we have it opening up at 220. It's dropped 3 points down to 217. When we go to the cash here, we have 6,670 tickets in, 58% of the tickets and 85% of the cash. Yeah, drink up, get it in you. On the Charlotte Hornets. So the big bets have come in on the Hornets. This total has 53% of the tickets on the under and 77% of cash on the under. Cavs coming off their second loss in 3 games, 115-104 at Houston on Wednesday night. Mobley, 29 points on Wednesday. But I think the rookie of the year wears a Toronto Raptors jersey. Cleveland's past 4 wins, the opponents have failed to reach 100 points. Darius Garland out with the back ailment. Markkanen out with the sprained ankle. Hornets come in off their second straight loss, 113-107 to Boston. LaMelo goes off for 38. I think, Omicron said it best. I don't need to add too much to it, but this is the beginning of a 4-game homestand for these Charlotte Hornets. Take it away, Darryl. Cavaliers, Hornets.
You know what, man? Scare money don't make money. You ready for this?
Yeah.
Are you ready for this?
Yeah.
Give me Charlotte first half minus. I don't give a fucking shit what the spread is. Charlotte first half. I got it. I already bet it, but I'm gonna make it my play. You ready for this? Here's my analysis. I don't give a fucking shit. I don't give a fucking shit. So yeah, I don't give a fuck. I don't give a fuck. I don't give a fucking shit. I don't give a fucking shit what the spread is. Yeah.
It's been a wild few minutes here on the show.
Bro, I mean, are we going to get through this card? Are we going to? I don't know. I'm just telling you now, looking at the numbers, this team is like night and day without Garland on it. We were already talking about how losing Colin Sexton was a big deal. Then losing Ricky Rubio was a big deal. We lost Garland, and we've already talked about how much Garland is on that squad besides just being a scorer. He's a great scorer, but he gets his players involved, right? You saw what Houston did to Cleveland without Garland. You saw that. In their last 3 right now, opponents' points scored per game. Charlotte at one point in time was in the bottom. In their last 3, they're allowing 51 points. So their defense has picked up. Do you know where they've steamed up in their last 3? Their points per game in the first half. They're now top 3. What made me look at that was the fact that Boston got up on Charlotte. Charlotte turned it around and were able to score points and keep it close in the second half or second quarter. So I do believe it's one of these games where, first off, I don't think you're going to get that scoring out of Cleveland. Charlotte wants to get a game back that they let get away against Boston. But in my opinion, right now, the way Boston's been playing, they've been playing better than Cleveland. I like Charlotte first half. I took Charlotte first half minus 2.5. Give it to me. Charlotte first half minus 2.5. I don't give a fucking shit what the spread is.
Woo-wee. All right, well, let's lock you up. Get you the Charlotte first half here. The 4.5 with Charlotte is juiced. We've been waiting for it to move. We've been sitting here waiting for it to move. Wow. Are they really not? They're really not going to give us the first half? Wow.
I got it at 2.5.
Oh, no, I'm for sure it's available at different books, but it's not. Jose, can you look at? I can't see it available at Pinnacle, which is very strange. Clearly, they're concerned. I guess the Hayward's coming back. Let's see if Circa is offering up the first half for you. We're line shopping very quickly. I know it's taken a while for us to get through these 3 games, but you know what?
Yeah.
We just love capping with you, man. No harm on us. We just want to cap with you. Hornets minus 2.5, minus 105 over at Circa. That's a pretty nice line. What did you get it at?
I got it at 2.5 at minus 110.
Okay, so this is nice. Okay, so you are locked in. Daryl's first spot on the card. Hornets first half minus 2.5 at minus 105. And our guy, Darryl, is eating at an alarming rate. 42 and 30, 58.3% plus 10.05 units. ROI plus 13.96%. Average line minus 106. And he is on the board. Let's keep rolling. Next up for us. This is a game very near and dear to my heart. It's the only game I bet so far. 7:30 p.m. Eastern. Atlanta Hawks 24 and 26, 10 and 14 on the road at Toronto Raptors, 26 and 23, 14 and 12 at home. We're at Scotiabank Arena in Toronto, Ontario. I'm on the Raptors minus 1.5 and minus 110.
Yeah.
I bet it put out this morning. Look, I understand the overtime games, back-to-back overtime games, fucking blah, blah, fucking blah. This is a young basketball team that's ready to fucking go. And the Atlanta Hawks just beat the best team in the league.
Yeah. Yeah.
And now they got to travel to Canada and come over our border and all the government fucking bullshit that they have to go through to get over our border. Scotiabank Arena, both teams 4-1 over their past 5. Only going to be 500 fans in the crowd. Atlanta 6th in pace over the last 5, 100.20 possessions a game. Raptors playing nice and slow because when everybody's 6'8", you don't need to rush. Well, fuck you. We'll hurt you. We'll just play a nice slow pace and we'll defend every position on the floor. And that's why Io looks so good. There's a lot of guards that might not look so good. 29th in pace and 94.52 possessions a game. When we go to the market here, we have the Raptors. Pinnacle opened it up at 2. Bet365 got out before then. It's now at 2.5 across the board. But the 2.5 is just at minus 105. This total's gone from 217.5 to 218.5. When we go to the cash flow in this spot, 5,396 tickets in, 53% of the tickets, 94% of the cash on the Raptors. 94% of the tickets on the over, 83% of the cash on the Raptors. For those of you joining us late, I did follow Dennis Garcia's leadership and move on the Raptors to win the division. I got 28-1. I got plus 2,800. So I locked that in just for $100. And then I pussied out so much on the Nurse bet. I only put $25 on Nick Nurse to win Coach of the Year at 50-1. Pays like $1,200. Who cares? Yeah. But what I want to bet is Scotty Barnes to win Rookie of the Year at 6.5-1. Mobley at minus 300. If you compare stats, Mobley's just had a little bit better of a season so far, and that could change if the Raptors.
That could change. I mean, Scotty's missed a couple of games, right?
He has.
Yeah. So, you know, it's what have you done for me lately? So when people start seeing your body of work and you continually doing it, right, then, you know, you'll get noticed. The reason why you've got Mobley being noticed is because, I mean, Cleveland they're a big team, right? But they were really, really terrible last year. So now you see a team that's really good, you know, and his name is starting to come up a lot with veterans playing with Jared Allen, and he's a rookie handling his own. That's why you're seeing that juice, right? With Mobley being Rookie of the Year. But Scotty, man, if you looked at Scotty in the beginning of the year, he was doing okay. Really good. And he's still holding his own, and he's getting better and better and better. And you can see that is Pissant's preferred connection for his assists. So the pick and roll is working. You know, Scotty should get it. He should get it. But the fact is, Cleveland's a better Cinderella story because they just have been terrible for so long.
Right now. But if the Raptors win the Atlantic Division over the Brooklyn Nets and Philadelphia 76ers, that whole storyline changes, I believe. Darryl, I remember on social media, all the ignorant fucking, most of them were comics, you know, from my last career, and just losing their minds, so angry at Masai for taking Scotty over Jalen Suggs. Just ignorant, fucking stupid shit. But even when I remember like distinctly in the car listening to sports radio, and they were saying, you know, Suggs is going to start scoring a lot more than Scotty Barnes. Expect Scotty to put up, you know, 8 points a game, put up 5 or 6 boards, and like, look at his numbers, man. We're at 15 points a game. We're at 8 boards a game, and it's just going to climb. Let me hand this over to you quickly. But let me just set a table. Hawks are on the second half of a back-to-back. They bounced back from that 106-100 home loss to these Raptors. Look, one of the things that we think about when we think of Jay Money is revenge game Jay.
Yeah. Revenge game Jay.
And it's such a big part of NBA. Revenge game. Now, the Hawks have this close in their memory, but they also did just beat the best team in the league at home.
They did.
And
I
don't think I'm not entirely sure what to make of losing to the team you're about to play, then beating the best team in the league, and how that kind of affects the psyche. Trae Young did not play in that game on Monday. He looked very good last night, 16 of 25, and he got 6 of 11 from 3 for 43 points. John Collins went for 19 and 10, but he hurt his shoulder. He says he's fine. He's expected to play. But Hawks have won 8 of 9. Raptors are on the second half of back-to-back. Siakam is playing so well. Boucher coming off the bench like a boss. Siakam 25, 13, and 7. They've won 4 straight. Gary Trent Jr. stepping up in an enormous way. I'm so excited for this basketball game tonight. So excited. I'm already on the Raptors minus 1.5. Darryl, take it away.
Yeah, man. This one was tricky. I give a shit about this game, but I'm not going to play it. I'm not going to play it, man, because this honestly is a coin flip. It is. It seems like Atlanta should honestly be able to win this game the way they played against Phoenix, right? Because Phoenix has been a great team and they've just been steamrolling through people. But Toronto's body of work, their recent body of work, have shown, man, that this team is willing to compete and can compete with any squad. And so do you get in front of what Atlanta just did to Phoenix? Or do you get in front of what Toronto's been doing in their last few games? This one was tricky for me. It was tricky for me. You beat Chicago in overtime. It was yesterday, right? You played yesterday in a back-to-back. Toronto's at home, so you don't have fans there. You beat Miami, right? You beat Miami twice already, and you're already familiar with how Atlanta plays. I just think that from a revenge angle, Atlanta should be able to get up. And that's if you have Trey playing, and that's if you have Collins playing, right? But if you don't, then this absolutely, if those guys are not playing, this absolutely has to be a Toronto spot here, and they're going to continue to play games and win games. Toronto will have a long break, right? They'll have the weekend off, so they can go party, and then they'll play Charlotte, in which they've already beat them. So I'm thinking here that if you wait on the lineups, you wait on the injury reports, if you don't have either John Collins or Trae Young play, you got to get up with Toronto. You got to get up with Toronto here, right? If they are playing, then it's like, yo, wait a minute, pause, pump the brakes real quick. Atlanta might just do something, because the body of work and how Phoenix have been playing as a whole, man, has been really actually good. And for a quick second, we were saying that Phoenix was winning games but not covering spreads. That's not really true. I mean, they've been covering spreads now while they've been winning, just in a more recent body of work. So for right now, it's a no play for me until I see the injury reports, because I can go either way here. Mark my words, man. Watch this be another overtime game. Watch.
Yeah, and it doesn't affect this young Raptor squad, I don't think, like it does affect other squads. I'm obviously, I got fan bias now.
Yeah, don't be a homer.
No, I'm a homer, and it's making me money.
Yeah.
It's the right team to be a homer for, man. I mean, this team was left for dead coming into the season, and they've made us so proud. Ski says Raps played OT game last night. I believe we got back-to-back OT games. Nick Nurse was playing these guys into the ground, man.
I mean, Nick is like Tibbs, but I got a question for Ski, or anybody for that matter. What would be the chances they sit if you have a long break, right? I mean, considering how games have been played, we've had fill-in games, things of that nature. You're not going to play again until the 7th. So a long break, 2 days, maybe that is long, 3 days, if you want to call it that. Do you think Nurse would sit the players for that long still? Like, would have them basically sit this game and then, not play on the 7th? I mean, I don't know here, because that could affect my betting too. But with that break being on the 7th, the Hawks, they don't play themselves until the 6th. So they even play before they even play before Toronto. What does he think about Nick just playing these guys out? And if they win the game, go party, man. You know what I'm saying? No film room session.
I guess we just allowed 50% occupancy, so in our spots in Toronto. So I guess you could go out and party. By the way, the Taint play of the day record 78 and 70 is 52.7%. So it's not that we don't know math. That was just the percentages weren't updated. 52.7%. We do care very much about the numbers here on the show. Raptors -1.5, -110. I'm on, and it's my only spot right now. Let's move on. I can't wait for this basketball game. It was very, very, very enjoyable watching them beat the Bulls last night. This team just becomes more fun to watch, and I look. I'm not going to sit here. We got a ton to break down, but Banton drafting him out of Scarborough and seeing him on the bench, and just all these kids in our neighborhood can dream now, and I'm going to
Yeah.
get a Banton jersey as soon as we can go into a store, because all these kids can dream now. You can play here on our Parkdale courts, and you can play for the Raptors. This team has everything I want in a team to cheer for, and I'm so proud of them. And I'm sorry that I think it's the booze talking. 8:30 p.m. Eastern. Let's move on. Houston Rockets 15-36, 7-20 on the road at San Antonio Spurs 19-33, 10-17 at home. We're at AT&T Center in San Antonio, Texas, where we'll be on Thursday, March 24th for the Sweet 16. All of us together. You want to see me get emotional? You want to see me get emotional? The last time when we left Miami. I didn't want to get into it. Just because there's a difference between when you get older, you understand when something's real. You know,
Yeah,
when
man.
something's real and
Absolutely.
relationships are real. Like
Absolutely.
it becomes just change. You emote. Houston 1-4 over the past 5, 8th in pace at 99.60 possessions a game. San Antonio Spurs 1-4, 10th in pace over the last 5, 99.30 possessions a game. We have Houston right now opening up as 3.5-point dogs. They're now 5-point dogs.
So you know what that means?
DeWanta's in.
He's in.
Yeah.
He's in.
234 total, moving up to 235.5 or 236. Is there a chance that Jakob Poeltl could be in as well?
Probably, because you got a whole point and a half out of that, right? You got a whole point and a half out of that. Jakob is, you're going to need him, right? But it was a concussion. Now, this is weird, because if it was a concussion and he's coming back quicker than what Donovan Mitchell did, what the fuck is going on in Utah? I mean, that's for a later game, because Donovan is probably coming back tonight. But Jakob had a concussion, and he's already about to come back in. So I would say this is more DeJounte Murray versus Poeltl. But, this one here, once again, if you didn't jump on it early, you kind of missed it. And San Antonio, they've been good in the first quarter. Remember, we were making money with San Antonio first quarter. Not anymore. Not so much anymore here. So if I have to look at this game, I was really riding Houston. I was riding Houston until this line moved. I wanted to wait. Now, even though it's still showing no report submitted as of yet for the Spurs on the official injury report website, I think this is telling that he's probably going to play. So now I'm off the game. I'm off it altogether. It's just a game that I don't want to get involved in because I didn't get the competitive advantage. Head to head, they've already just played. And San Antonio mopped them in January. They played again 13 days before that. 2 weeks prior to that, Houston got them in a close game. So this can go back and forth. It's funny how the home team wins, right? Even though they're both in Texas, the home court wins, right? So the San Antonio win here, yeesh. Yeah, if you got DeJounte in there, you damn right. So maybe you can go back to the board here with San Antonio first quarter against a weaker opponent, but it's not something that I want to get involved in. Just may make a move on the first quarter, but they've been sliding down as well. So if you look at their overall body of work, San Antonio has been kind of going down, man. They've been kind of going down for their 5-4. These cats were like 8-2 in the last 10 at one point in time. So now they're not winning first quarters as much. They're not covering that spread. But can they beat the Rockets in the first quarter by a point or two? I believe so. So it's something I might just jump on before the show is over with. That's the lean I have.
Yeah, it makes sense. This is a game that makes me uncomfortable. By the way, I thought Zach Collins was going to be in the lineup for the first time, but Eric Jones says he hurt himself last night. So he'll probably say, I thought we were going to see a little bit of Zach Collins. Not that it mattered that much. Ski Prophet says Christian Wood or full game over. I just this is a really complicated game that I don't think I want to have cash on, because my initial feeling was that it was going to go to the under. What's it at right now? Because I could have got the under. Whoa. So I could have got the under at 134.5. Went down to 134. Now it's up to 234.5, 234. Now it's up to 236.5. This Las Vegas insider said that this opened at 239. I don't know where that was. Like, I'd like to know. That's why some of these. Well, we won't get into that, but very, very tricky, difficult game. But the Rockets did look good winning at Cleveland on Wednesday night. And Christian Wood and Jalen Green. Jalen Green went for over 20 for the first time in a while. Garrison Matthews, Kevin Porter went for 11. Eric Gordon and Kenyon Martin Jr. went for 10.
He's not liking the Gordon ISO play. Did you see that? Did you see that little video that was kind of going online?
I don't think so, no.
Yeah, he was frustrated with Gordon's ISO.
Okay.
So yeah, there's some shit going on there. There's that locker room is not in order. KPJ talking too much shit to Steph Curry. He had to be humbled, right? Green's not liking the Gordon ISO. It's crazy over there. It's crazy right now. But this, I don't want any smoke in this game. This should be a San Antonio get up game, get them up and out. But yeah, I'm cool.
Yeah. This is a tricky spot. Okay, let's move on. Lots of opportunities on this card. Next up was a spot that I did say when I was so confident taking the Kings over the Nets, and I was like, and I said it on that show, I was like, I'm going to fade the Kings nonstop, especially with Kyrie in the lineup, with no Aldridge and no front court. And then here we get the Jazz with Donovan Mitchell coming back and Harden coming off a 4-point game. Like, I don't want to poke Kyrie Irving and James Harden as if like
right,
because we know these guys are spectacular basketball players. So I'm pumping the brakes. It's a drive slow homey situation for me here, even though I was really bullish on fading the Nets here. I just 0-5, 6 straight 0-5 over the past 5, 6 straight losses. I mean, it's 2 for 11 for Harden, and then you look at this Jazz team. So the Jazz snapped their 5-game losing streak with a 108-104 win, underwhelming victory over the Nuggets that were playing without Jokic and playing without Gordon. This Jazz team was playing without Gobert, Donovan Mitchell, Jordan Clarkson, Hassan Whiteside, Daniel House, and Quinn Snyder wasn't even there. And Joe Ingles, as we know, is done for the year. Donovan Mitchell is going to play tonight. Clarkson and Whiteside are questionable. Gobert and House are out. Trent Forrest is stepping up, and Bogdanovich and Royce O'Neal and Rudy Gay have been holding this team together. But I want to hear your breakdown before I make a move. So here, let me just give you a quick market situation here with this spot. We have Utah opening up at -4.5. They're now down to -3.5, which tells me it was good that I stayed off. This total opened up at 230. It's up to 232. And from a cash flow situation, we have the 7,364 tickets in. 37% of the tickets are on the Nets and 75% of the cash. So big bets have come in on Brooklyn bouncing back. 57% of tickets on the over and 99% of cash on the over. Doesn't look like so many tickets have been moved on the total. So I'm not sure how much we should take that in. Take it away, Darryl. I love this game. I'm very interested in your breakdown.
Give me Jay. Keep talking for just a second. I'm about to lose battery. Realize I didn't plug my phone.
Okay, no worries. I got this. So initially, and the market is screaming at me that, and then I knew it this morning, and I knew it last night. I was like, you know what? Your bullish behavior about fading Brooklyn was probably short-sighted, and what happens when you win a bet? Like I took not a ton of heat, but I took a bunch of heat for taking Sacramento. A bunch of people saying that this is wrong. It's bounce back spot for Brooklyn, blah, blah, blah. And they looked like they were right until the fourth quarter because the paint is the issue for Brooklyn. And with Aldridge out, I mean, if you look at this lineup, I mean, who are you going to trust in the paint? You have Day'Ron Sharpe, who can be trusted if he's healthy and if he's feeling good. You can't trust Blake Griffin. I mean, there's no bigger pussy than Blake Griffin. Darryl,
okay.
Are you good, buddy?
Yeah, I noticed a little.
Well, yeah, let's slow down, Darryl. We gotta figure this out. Let's go over to the chat here. Rand says Nets, no depth or a bench. THC's Rizzo says Kyrie or Harden going to go off after last game, and THC's Rizzo says Jazz locker room not in order either. Interesting. I don't know. I'd love to hear more about that. Gerald Jones says I like the under in Jazz Nets. Andrew G on the Nets. Matty Ice says I really like the Nets here. And Crystal Warren says Darryl not gonna give a fuck about this game. I love capping with Crystal Warren. Matty Ice says I'm not a big NBA bettor, but this is more of a feel spot for me. This is a net spot for me. And THC's Riz is saying, no, the Nets have not quit. It looks like maybe you guys should jump on to a side spot. What do you think, Jose? You think that he's good? Oh, we got the thumbs up. Okay, let's get Darryl back in action here. It's a little chopperoo here. Yeah. Okay, let's. You guys find the spot where you guys can work here. So let's just move on. We'll get Darryl. Look, I'm down 6 units. He's up double-digit units. So, and obviously, my plan was to fade Brooklyn, but it feels like after 6 straight losses, but I don't want Brooklyn. So I can understand the big bets coming in on Brooklyn. I don't want them. Let's move on to the next game. And Michael O'Brien says that Omicron Cap are pretty knowledgeable. Yeah, pretty knowledgeable. Leonard Welch asking for the taint play today. We'll see if it happens. We'll see if it pops off here. Let's move on to the next spot on the board. 9 p.m. Eastern. New Orleans Pelicans 19-32, 8-19 on the road at Denver Nuggets 28-23, 13-9 at home. We're at Ball Arena in Denver, Colorado. The Pelicans 1-4 over their past 5, 26th in pace at 95.80 possessions a game, while Denver's 3-2, 12th in pace at 98.90 possessions a game. We got Darryl back in action. I can see him dancing backstage. Let's get him up. Darryl, my man, you back in action?
Hey man, you almost lost me for good, bro. Goddamn Frenchie pulled out the cord. I didn't realize it, so my bad.
It's all good, buddy. It's all good. You're back in action here. We'd love to hear your take on this Brooklyn Nets Utah Jazz game. It's perplexing, and when we break it down, it's sort of. I guess there's no real example of it on the rest of the card. The Bulls Pacers would be the closest, but it's a very. Oh no, sorry, there is. It's the Rockets Spurs. It's a tricky spot with a changing cast of characters that makes it more tough to cap. Take it away here. Break it down for us, Nets Jazz.
I don't give a shit about this game, man.
Crystal's right. Crystal said you were going to say that.
Yeah. I don't give a shit about this game, but we got to stop disrespecting the Nets, even though they deserve it. I mean, we got to stop disrespecting them. This is the thing I was trying to look at, though. The guard play is solid there. We know that Kyrie is still Kyrie. He's professional. He's good. James Harden's frustrated with the team. You know what I'm saying? He's, his head might not be in it, but that doesn't take away from his talent physically. Is this going to be the worst team with the worst big playing out of their last 6 games that they've lost? For what it's worth, Minnesota, you have Cat, win off, right? Lakers, I don't even want to talk about Lakers. Denver, you got Joker, right? Golden State, win by committee type deal. Phoenix, you have Ayton, you have McGee. Sacramento, you have Rashawn Holmes. And then you have Utah Jazz, right? Do you think out of all those teams, that would be the worst team that has the worst bigs right now that are not playing? Is that the worst big team that they'll play against? I would kind of lean to maybe, right? Which would tell me, in this case, to play the Brooklyn Nets here. I think this is when you play the Brooklyn Nets, to be honest. I think out of all the teams that they've played, this is going to be the side to play them. Now, you could probably say Sacramento would have the worst bigs on the team out of all the teams that they've played recently in this losing streak. But then I would just go back to the Nets being off a back-to-back, going from Phoenix to Sacramento. You got the back-to-back travel, which is the worst position to be in. Shout out to Ski for bringing that to light to me. So I'm just thinking, you give them a little break. They're now playing Utah. That's not really that far of a distance from Sacramento. You got, I just think this is one of these spots to where if you are going to like the Nets, you should like them in this position. But at the same time, I would rather see them win a game before I decide to get on that train versus, still staying in front of a train that's crashing quickly. If I had to choose a side, it would be the Nets right here. And this side, I think the Nets can get it done against Utah. I really do. But I don't want to play that shit. I don't even want to play it. You know why? Because you do have Spider coming back, right? You do have Clarkson who's going to come back. You did lose Ingles, but now you got some kind of equal guard play, if you want to call it that. I mean, Kyrie and Harden are top down, some of my favorite guards to a certain degree when they got their head in the game. Nobody's stopping Kyrie's handles, but is this the game that we fade the star player when he comes back on his first game theory, right? Is this the game we do it? If so, then I would look at the Brooklyn Nets. The line is even telling you that by it going down, right? This was at a 5, 4.5, and now we're getting some 3.5, some 4s. But for what it's worth, I don't give a shit about this game. I just like thinking it out.
I like hearing you think it out. THC's Rizza says Brooklyn and the over is the play. Matty I says I would like to, wants to hear your thoughts on the total. He's on the other side. He says, I think it might go under. Let's just go over the market move here. It's gone from 230 up to 232. And from a cash flow perspective, it's all on the over. What do you think of this total? And again, just to remind everybody, the pace last 5, both playing slow. Brooklyn 21st at 97.2 possessions a game. Utah 22nd at 96.9 possessions a game.
It's funny the way I think about it, because I keep saying that I'm not a total person, right? I didn't start even capping totals. It was always just from a size perspective and who ultimately I thought would win. At one point in time, man, Utah was top 5 in points per game. Now, right now they're top 2, right? But if you look at their last bit of work that they've done, they're actually losing points. They're averaging for the season 113.4, last 3, 107.7. And that was even after putting up 108 in their last one where they put up 108. Brooklyn used to be up there. Brooklyn at one point was top in the league in first half points, right? Brooklyn 111. Right now they're averaging in their last 3, 106. So maybe this travel, you still got to take that into effect, even though you had take that into account rather. They have had a little break, but they are going to play. I don't know about the over here. I really don't. I don't know about the over. It's one of those things to where 111, that's 224. 224 is what they're averaging for the season together. And those in the last 3 are going down. So now you're telling me that both these teams are not going to play defense, which they don't. Not without Gobert. Gobert is their defender, right? That is your best defender you have on Utah. So maybe it does go up, but I wouldn't play the total. I would me personally, I would play the Nets here.
I'd be interested to see how high it goes up, because Matty Ice says, I think that with Mitchell coming back, Utah will be trying to figure things out offensively.
So that's fade the star player, right?
Mm-hmm.
Mitchell is the alpha. So he's going to go and play his game and play the game he wants to play, right? Mm-hmm. So you can sit there and be mad like Green did with Gordon, but Mitchell's going to play his game. So do you just fade him since he's been concussed and been out for the last, 5 months? Like we almost had to do a Markieff Morris on him and put out an APB on this motherfucker, right? So it's just one of those teams to where I feel that Utah is still sorry enough without everybody. They've got literally nobody playing, that Brooklyn needs a win. They need a win. It's one of those things to where Steve Nash needs a win, right? Even people are talking about fire Steve Nash. It's one of these games where I think the Nets can get up and win.
What a fascinating game. This next spot doesn't have as much star power, but I do find it almost as interesting. 9 p.m. Eastern, New Orleans Pelicans, 19-32, 8-19 on the road at Denver Nuggets, 28-23, 13-9 at home. We're at Ball Arena, Denver, Colorado. Oh, I already did that. I already broke that opening for you guys. So let's just go through the spread here. We have the Pelicans opening. The total opening up at 222, now 224. Pelicans opening up at 6.5-point dogs. That's down to 6. And it's just happened. Pinnacle's -6 for Denver's at +100. So, it's still slightly a 6.5. And then from a cash flow perspective, we have 6,178 tickets in. 67% of the tickets, 96% of the cash on the Nuggets. Jokic and Aaron Gordon aren't on the injury report, so they're going to play. And clearly the betting public thinking that the Nuggets are going to take care of business. 78% of tickets are on the over. We don't have a cash number at this point. Pelicans coming off snapping their 4-game losing streak by defeating the Pistons 111-101 in Detroit on Tuesday. Brandon Ingram had 26 points in the win. New Orleans just a game and a half out of a playoff spot. Just game and a half behind the Blazers. Josh, Hart dealing with a knee injury. He missed the game. Nuggets coming off their second straight loss, 108-104 at the Jazz. They had won 4 straight on that road trip before culminating in that 36-point win in Milwaukee, and then that followed up with that 130-115 loss against the Timberwolves. Jokic, right toe, Gordon, hamstring tightness. They're both going to be in the game. And this is the beginning of a 3-game homestand for these Nuggets who desperately want to be home for a little bit. Eric Jones giving us a final score of 118-106 Denver. Take it away, Darryl, Pelicans, Nuggets.
You know who's sitting first in first half points? Denver. Right? Denver. They're giving you an average of 59 in the last 3, but they are number 1. They gave you 61, I believe, last game. New Orleans, this is crazy, though, is allowing 51 points in the first half. They have a season average of 53. When you have those 2 losses like you had, and to be honest with you, it depends on which Denver team shows up, but you weren't supposed to lose to Minnesota. I mean, after beating Milwaukee, right? You've already played New Orleans and you beat them 116-105. That was at the end of the month. So, I mean, you're talking about just basically days of playing. And then you lose to Utah. But for what it's worth, they sat everybody down. This is a get-right game. I do like Denver here. I like them first half. I would jump on them first half because I believe that they can. It's not even really about pace, right? But Denver is one of those teams that once you give them a little time to game plan, they can get it right. They did still beat Milwaukee by 136 to 100 points. So this is a team that can get right. I like Denver first half. That's the move for me. And only because Pelicans will kind of fight. You know what I'm saying? They will kind of fight. I don't think Josh Hart plays. I don't think at all. Right? So I think Joker's definitely going to go. That's what the line is telling you. I think Aaron Gordon's going to go. That's what the line is telling you. I even believe that DeMarcus Cousins is going to go. I believe all these guys are going to go. And so because of that, it's a team that they just kind of – this is a team that does good in the first half. I believe that if you think 6.5 is too much for you, take them first half. I like Nuggets first half. I'm on it. I think you can see that at a -3.
Yeah, I'll line shop for you right now. I like this idea very much. The Pelicans do seem to keep battling, sort of like the Thunder. And Valanciunas, he's showing that he can bang with Jokic. I mean, he's not at Jokic's level, but he can bang with him.
Yeah.
So
I'm taking it right now. I'm putting it in my book. I got it at 3.5. Denver Nuggets first half -3.5. Lock it.
All right, and we can get you here at Pinnacle. Oh, wow. They're not giving a first half either. Why would these books be scared to give us first half action here? Let's move over to Circa. Now, Circa does limit first half action. You know, I do like that the books are a little bit scared, you know, because they're just such people I want to destroy so badly. The first half, I can get you a -3 at Circa. -3, -110 for the first half. So let's lock you in with that.
Yeah. And just keep in mind, man, this is the reason why I like this. Denver is first in the league in first half scoring. And look at the caliber of opponents they've been playing, right? New Orleans is sitting 28th in the league in first half scoring. Their season average alone is 51. Do you know what they've been averaging in the last 3? 43 points. That's after putting up a 57-point first half in their last game. So either they're going to lock down Denver, which I don't think that's going to happen, right? Or Denver's going to definitely get up. So I do like the first half. I'm really confident on that bet there. Give me Denver Nuggets first half -3.5. I already took it. I pulled the trigger right now. That is definitely a play for me.
I love it. By the way, the Taint play of the day is in. We will discuss it after NBA, but the Taint play of the day is in. I'll pop it up here in the chat. You know, I like this look. The Nuggets were playing great basketball. Their best basketball of the season to start this road trip, winning 4 straight on the road. Then they destroy the NBA champions, and of course,
at home, Jay.
And so, of course,
But you know, Puzzler told me, Puzzler was like, hey, it's not a doppelganger team, it's a Jekyll and Hyde team, right?
Mm-hmm.
Well, Milwaukee's damn good at home, healthy. So, in my opinion, man, if you can do that to Milwaukee at home, you can come to your spot at elevation, right, and do the same thing. So, I think they can clearly win this game in the first half by a lot of points. Do an alt line here. Take a little bit of your lunch money, right, and take Denver Nuggets -6.5 first half and see what you get.
I like it. I think I'll go so far as to add the first quarter to it. Although I would have more confidence in the first half, but I like it. I'm gonna roll with you here, and I can understand the trifecta. It's being talked about here in the chat.
Scary hours.
The THC is Rizza saying
he's on a trifecta.
Yeah, he's like Nuggets are gonna smash. He says trifecta spot.
I couldn't talk you off of it, man.
All right, let's keep rolling. We have 2 games left on the card. Then we will discuss sweet taint, that little flap of skin. 10 p.m. Eastern, Philadelphia 76ers 31-20, 17-9 in the road at Dallas Mavericks 29-23, 16-10 at home. We're at American Airlines Center in Dallas, Texas. Philadelphia 4-1 over the past 5, 28th in pace at 95.02 possessions a game, while Dallas 1-4, 23rd in pace, 96.78 possessions a game. Initially, I was going to bet Dallas, and then I pumped the brakes and wanted to talk it out because both teams are coming off looking bad, and because I care so much about this division now, not that I didn't before, but now that the Raptors are a real threat in this division all of a sudden, I don't want that to get in the way of my gambling. So I wanted to hear Darryl talk about Dallas opening up at -1.5. It's now moved to 2 at Pinnacle, although that 2 is at -101, so slightly at 2. This total's gone from 212.5 to 210.5. When we go over to the cash flow in this spot, we have 6,821 tickets in. 49% of the tickets are on the Sixers and 67% of the cash. So there's a belief that the debacle that they just showed us against the Wizards will be, rectified. There's a belief. Then from a total perspective, we have 51% of tickets on the over and just 29% of cash. That makes sense because it's moving towards the under. Sixers come off having their 5-game winning streak snapped in a 106-103 loss at home to Washington on Wednesday night. Maxey goes for 22, 8, and 7 and no turnovers. This 21-year-old's balling.
Bro.
Embiid, isn't he? He looks so good. Embiid comes back from that 1-game absence, 27 and 14 and 6, but it's not enough. Seth Curry back spasms is questionable. He wasn't obviously the back injury is a real deal for him because he did not look good for a while before this. Obviously, if he's not in the lineup, Thibault and Green will have a lot more run. Mavs coming off their second straight loss, 121-14 in overtime at home to the Thunder on Tuesday night. It was shocking, although I wasn't on the Mavs, but it was shocking. Luka goes for 40 and 10, and it doesn't matter. But he did not look good in the last 45 seconds. Reggie Bullock goes for 23 and 8. Brunson goes for 20. They miss Hardaway and KP.
Yeah.
It's amazing now, and I was thinking this morning, it's amazing that was a mistake, bringing him over from the Knicks. Maybe I'm being too extreme, but it was a mistake. They'd be better off having the money available. I do not trust KP. Take it away here, Darryl. Second last game on the card, Sixers Mavericks.
Yeah, man. I'll make this quick. This is another one of my narrative bets, right? So the Memphis trifecta that I gave you, with it being more of a narrative, I got thrown off this fucking day, man. Let's rewind this day, bro. I tell you, this is what I'm thinking. I honestly believe that this is going to be the first time they played this year, right? This will be the first time. Philly got them last year for whatever it's worth, 113-95. I believe Philly is going to get it done. I honestly do. I believe Philly is going to win this game outright. Now, I don't want to even encourage the numbers because the stats will help you at least recognize how to move on this game. But if you ask me, I believe Philly was just embarrassed that last game, right? You can't celebrate a good win against Memphis in overtime with your reserves and then lose to Washington. And I believe Washington was on a back-to-back. I do believe so. So if you're going to play this game, I believe this is a game that Philly can win because of the consecutive losses that Dallas has had against bad teams. So what that's telling me against Dallas is they're missing their rotations, they're missing their assignments, they're not playing in their correct actions because these are mental mistakes they're making and the other teams are exploiting them. That's what this is about. And when you have these injuries, especially THJ, who's gone out, who honestly has been an anchor for defense, this is what starts to happen. You're missing your assignments. You're not getting to your help defense, right? You're having Luka do more than he should. You're having Jalen Suggs be like a streaky shooter, even though he's a bulldog. So, in my opinion, I like Philly here. I really do. Now, everybody can talk about how Philly plays up or down to their opponent. Remember, Dallas is a good team. They are a top-end defense, right? But now you've seen these injuries kick in. And you just got to know how to adjust. Personally, I believe that Philly can win this game outright. I would just take Philly money line here. They both had equal rest, even though Philly's had to travel. They don't play until both of them play what? On Saturday or tomorrow? Or yeah, they both play on Sunday. So they'll have a day's rest here. Embiid should cook. He should cook here. So I'm coming close, man, to taking Philly money line here because you're playing against a team who had no case to lose against Orlando and OKC, right? So Kidd is not making the right adjustments. And when you have a player that goes out as good as THJ, now you got to know how to adjust and put people. You got to make yourself stronger in places that you're weak. So I like Philly here.
I get it. I'm hesitant right now. What do you think about this under? It's moved 1.5, and I'm sure when we're talking about the low 210s, it's gone from 212 to 210.5. That these are enormously important points, and I feel like even 1.5, I might have missed it. What do you think of this under and this being just a battle?
It can be. Look at Dallas's game, man. Look at Dallas's game. Luka, you can't speed up Luka. You can't force him into a fast game, right? That just doesn't happen. He's like Joker. You can't. He's going to play at his pace and play the pace that he wants to, right? If you look at Philly's last games, Washington 103-106, Memphis was an overtime game that was 122-119. Sacramento 103-101. Lakers didn't even get to the century mark. New Orleans barely got over there at 107. This could easily be an under game, and I wouldn't even be afraid to take the under here.
I'm curious to see what this first half under and what the difference is here. The first half under 108, and it hasn't moved.
Yeah,
it hasn't moved.
Just take that full game.
By the way, Mike M. Puck Bunny play of the day is in AHL. Rochester Americans in AHL 4-0 Puck Bunny right now. Well, I have interest in the under, and I have interest in if you pull the trigger on the Sixers. We will find out. Also, follow our guy It's Darryl on Twitter. That's his handle at It's Darryl. And if you did, then you would have hit the trifecta with the Grizzlies on Wednesday. He gave out full game on the show. He was close to moving on first half and first quarter, and he did that on Twitter, and he tagged all of us. Last game on the card, 10 p.m. Eastern, Oklahoma City Thunder, 16-34, 7-18 on the road at Portland Trailblazers, 21-31, 14-13 at home. Moda Center in Portland, Oregon. We have OKC 2-3 over the past 5, 25th in pace at 96.10 possessions a game. Portland 1-4 over the past 5, 16th in pace at 97.90 possessions a game. We move over to the market. We have Portland opening up at 8-point favorites. It's still there. A 4-cent move towards them at Pinnacle, so very little. This total opened up at 213.5. Most books are at 212.5. Pinnacle still at 213. We go over to the cash flow in this spot. We have 5,485 tickets in, the least of any on the board. 71% of the tickets, 65% of the cash on the Thunder.
Yeah, and no movement.
And 62% of the total on the over, and very little movement here. Oklahoma City trailed by as many as 18 points on Monday, and then did what they've done quite often this year. Just kept coming at you and coming at you. Win 98-81 at home over the Blazers. it wasn't as much that Thunder keep coming at you. It was more what the Blazers did. This is Monday. This isn't these teams' last game. This is Monday. The Blazers put up 34 points in the second half. I don't have their points per quarter in front of me, but it was like ridiculously low.
Yeah, I'll tell you right now, Portland put up 31 that first quarter, and OKC's 19, right? And then Portland just lays an egg second and third quarter. Portland puts up 16 on the second quarter and 14 on the third quarter.
30 points between the second and third quarters. So that was on Monday. The Thunder coming off their second straight win, 121-14 in overtime over the Mavs on Dallas on Wednesday. They did it without Shea. Montreal boy Luguentz Dort playing like a monster. We're very proud of him. 14 straight points in overtime, 30 points overall. He's averaging 25 over his past 3. He wants to be the man, and he's got the alpha in him. Trey Mann added 29 points. That's
yes.
Trey.
Jose, what's Trey Mann's points props if you can see him? I'm telling you right now, this is another player. So in my off time, I try to understand how props work, right? And so I make very, very, very small plays on these. I need to see what his props are on his threes, because if they are over, if it's anything less than 1.5, I'm going to jump on Trey Mann's threes, especially here in this spot.
Yeah, he's I love it. We'll get Jose on the player prop for Trey Mann. Blazers coming off their third straight loss, 99-94 at the Lakers on Wednesday. Norman Powell goes for 30 against the Lakers. I mean, talk about getting fleeced in the Gary Trent trade.
Yeah.
I mean, I like Storm and Norman. We all do. And I love the 4-year player in college and all that stuff, but I respect it. I guess I respect him more, and I love it.
I'm a fan of Norman Powell, man. I don't know why.
He's good. No, he's definitely a good basketball player that anybody would want on their basketball team. I get it. Portland went 7-38 from 3 in that loss. And now they're opening up a 5-game homestand. They've spent a ton of time on the road over the last month. And now they're opening up a 5-game homestand. They've lost 5 of their past 6. And, of course, being without Lillard. And Larry Nance could return. He's missed 15 games. Final game on the board, Darryl. Get that glass of wine out. Tell us what's going on with Thunder Blazers, man.
I don't give a shit about this game. I don't give a shit about this game. It's tricky. This game, man, is going to cause people headaches here. It's going to cause... Trey Mann should be on fire, right? He is running these back cuts and these slip cuts, and he's able to get open in the corner, right? 2.5 threes, man, that's kind of scary, because I think he put up, how many did he put up? 9 last game? I believe so. Let me see. Against Dallas that they won, he went 6 for 8. He went that might be a lean here. Trey Mann's threes. It's at plus money. And so this is the reason why I won't jump on the shit, is because I lose these plus money props. Right? But Portland just doesn't have the defense. Why in the hell is Portland at -8 here? Why? The books know something that we don't know here. They just played, bro. They just played. And OKC beat them 98-81. So here it is. Recency bias kicks in. They're going to look at the game that they played. Oh, you know what? OKC already beat them. And then you know what's going to happen? They're going to look at what OKC just did to Dallas and how well Dallas is. Oh, they just beat Dallas. Let me take OKC. This is way too many points. I feel that Portland is going to win this game by more than margin. But I'm too afraid to bet it. That's just me spitballing, because I don't give a shit about this game. But if I'm on a winning streak, man, I promise you this is going to be a late edition, because it is the last game. I promise you, bro. If I'm going to play something tonight late, it's going to be Portland -8. Call me crazy, call me fucking square. I don't give a shit. But this is when I'm looking more into the line here, because to have all that side be on OKC and you don't have really any movement to make this number move in any direction is telling. This is a fucking trap game if I haven't seen one, and people are going to take money today on OKC. OKC, man, they cover spreads and all that. They've won back-to-back games, but they're still a fucking bad team, dog. They're still bad. Portland's bad too. They were on a little surge, but it's one of these things to where, are the books just in the business of giving free money here? Nah. Nah. So I just think Portland could come out and win this game by double digits. But for now, I'm off of it. Fuck this game.
Yeah, it's funny because it's such a great breakdown. Yet, fuck this game. I love it. I love it. That was a great breakdown. Follow our man, It's Darryl, on Twitter. See if he pulls the trigger. I just popped it right there in the chat. We'll see if he pulls the trigger here. Let's review our action here in NBA. Then we'll go over the Taint play of the day, and then we'll put a bow on this bad boy. So first off, we have Celtics Pistons, and the Celtics team total overs interest me very much. Now, I know that the full game over is being bet very hard, and I'm late to the party, but I think that Nalflash Allen has a good idea of how to circumvent being late here.
He's on fire, man. Nutflush is on fire.
Ooh, is he ever? Then we have Bulls Pacers, and it's a tricky spot. There's no move at this point. Darryl gets his card started with the Hornets first half -2.5 at -105. Then I'm on the Raptors -1.5 at -110. I bet that earlier this morning. I'm very confident.
I think Collins is questionable, so that's what we're talking about, right? So this could probably be a Toronto move. Has that line moved at all? Because this could be a Toronto move right now.
See, the Raptors are now 3 or 3.5. Moved to 3.5.
Yeah, there you go. There you go.
God,
Okay.
I'm just so head over heels in love with this fucking basketball team, dude. I just can't imagine a group of players that you could love more than these guys, man. They're just Eric Jones also with me on that team to lower. I haven't pulled the trigger yet. I haven't bet that. But Eric Jones says, let's cash the Jimmy Raptors. Yes, let's go get it. Then Rockets, Spurs, no movement there. I have interest, and then I don't think I have the balls to do it, but I have interest in going against the market move towards the over in the next Jazz game.
Hey. Oh, in the Jazz game. Okay.
Yeah.
Remember what happened with San Antonio against Golden State. Remember that. That was San Antonio +2. Then the news came out about everybody sitting for Golden State, and that went to San Antonio -5. Right?
Yes, I was
and then
on
they still lost
2.5.
Yeah. They still lost that fucking game. So even with this big line movement, you could probably still, because it might be a little too large at this point, still look at Houston. But that's the Houston-San Antonio game. This Utah Nets game, I'm coming really, really close the more I think about it to taking Brooklyn here.
It's a game where the market is telling us that they're going to bounce back in a big way, which is fascinating when we know that Spider's back. So, very, very, very interesting. I can't wait, and I will keep an eye. And Eric says, no, Jimmy, not over in Utah. Take the under. Yes, that's what I'm talking about. I'm very close to going against the market move, and because market's going towards the over, I'm very close to moving on the under in that game. Rob says you should do this every day with Max. I do it every day. We're very thankful that we have Max every day. Daryl's next spot is on the Nuggets first half, and I like this look. And I might add the first quarter. I'm going to sit here and sit with it for a little longer. And then the Sixers Mavericks, I have interest in the under. It feels like it's a back alley brawl kind of a game. And then Thunder Portland, no action. And there you have it. Another NBA card.
Yeah, man. Not too many plays today. I'm learning. Let me see if I can just these two.
It's so much fun capping NBA with you. That was an hour and a half on 8 games, man. I love it. I could do it all day and forever. I'm honored, and the chat loves you, and I'm honored to work with you. Our guy, it's Darryl in the house, and man, look at his record. Because that's the one thing we can promise you. That's the one lock, is that we will be honest and transparent with our records, and we'll never sell you anything. So those are the two things that we can promise you. Darryl, 42-30, 58.3%, plus 10.05 units. ROI plus 13.96%. Average line -106. Matty Ice says, we love Darryl. Great job, my guy. We love you, man. Any last words before we head off into the weekend?
Hey, man. Y'all have a good Friday, man. Y'all have a good Friday. It's a good time to be alive, man. Good time to be alive. So I'm going to always be appreciative of the day. I'm going to always appreciate you bringing me on and giving me this platform, Jay. I appreciate everybody in the chat. I appreciate all y'all, for real. I really, really try to make sure that I learn from each and every single one of y'all. I'm just an average guy trying to do some big work. So I'll see y'all next week.
Oh, we love you. There he is. It's Darryl in the house. We have more still. We have Taint Play of the Day, and then we have Jose Bouquet Say Hey Plays of the Day, and he's now no longer up double-digit units, but nice place to be in. You have a bad day, and you slip under double-digit units. An impressive career he's had on this show, and we're coming closer to the 1-year anniversary of Jose and I putting this show together. So Elliot V says, keep grinding, Darryl. A lot of love. Bunk Hoot says, great stuff, Darryl. Ixnizzle says, much love. Let's talk about Piker. Let's talk about the Taint Play of the Day next. The Taint Play of the Day is Cornell plus 2.5. And one thing we know about the cappers that excel is that they're not scared of market moves. And Matty Ice says, I love them at 1.5. Now I'm pulling the trigger at plus 2.5. That is from our guy, Matty Ice. Let's get one more. All right, and your next guest, he took it right in ye old drink hole, right in the old bottom mouth. He took it in the prison pocket, the chocolate starfish. Will he bounce back today? Your guess is as good as mine. I will tell you this, though. He is working on making deals with a meat company in San Antonio to pay for the steaks that he owes us all. So if you're sitting here in the chat and you're like, look, I know this guy owes me a motherfucking steak. You going to get me that steak? He is going to get you that steak.
Everybody in the audience, now listen to me carefully, is being given a special package, and I don't want you to open it. Do not open it. Cameras are on you, so do not open until I tell you. All right, open your boxes. Open your boxes. 1, 2, 3.
You get a steak, you get a steak, you get a steak, you get a steak, you get a steak. Everybody gets a steak.
Will Jose be cooking the steak? That is the question that they want to. I need to see Jose in his country's Oh God! I wish I pulled him off right before that fucking. What was his thumb doing in his fucking mouth, man? What was that?
Some foam. Relax.
I wish I pulled it out. I wish I pulled this up. Pulled it out. Maybe I'm fucking. I wish I got this image up before I saw him fucking suck his thumb or whatever the fuck that shit was. Please welcome to the show the man on the 1s and 2s, Jose Bouquet.
Hello, Jimmy. Yes, I do owe a lot of steaks. Hopefully we can get this little steak bet sponsored. How about it? Maybe. Who knows?
Maybe.
But yeah, no. I owe a couple steaks.
Oh, it's not in the schedule, by the way.
Oh, yeah. Well, we'll figure it out. Maybe during Jim, I'm sure you know the schedule off chance. Saturday night, perhaps.
Saturday night's a poker night, so we'd have to do it much earlier.
Well, why not eat steak and poker,
No. I want to sit back and relax. I want to no, fuck that shit. I want to win the poker game. I'm looking.
Well,
look, we're all friends, and I also want more money. But I do want that. I think you nailed it. Saturday night, but no, Saturday early, like 4:00. And
sure.
if there's anybody not there that you owe steaks to, like let's say Bebenek, I'm going to get Bebenek to donate his steak to Trotwam's wife. To Trotwam's wife. So you will still owe Bebenek steak. So get your fucking wallet ready. Bebenek steak will go to Trotwam's wife because you owe Trotwam a steak, don't you?
No, I think he's the lone person that owns me a steak, actually.
Okay, all right.
But yes, I understand the concept. I understand your concept. That's good. It's fair.
All right, well, let's get into your action. You're coming off a tough day, but you've had a spectacular. We're coming up on a year. You've had a great run. You've earned the respect that you've been given on this show
Yeah,
with
show the
great
record.
capping.
Look at that.
So yeah, it's a very
Pretty decent
impressive record, and that's with losing 3. Are you 9.51? I thought you were.
I'm not good at math, Jim. I'm early in the morning, and numbers aren't good.
But I just send them to you. All you have to do is 9.51. Yeah, that's it. ROI plus 5.87%. Average line plus 106, 83, and 79. Okay, take it away here. How are you bouncing back?
Well, Jim, you taught me the art of transparency in your betting, and these are 3 bets that I've made. I told you at the beginning of the show that I'm down bad with the bookie right now with my local, and we need to make that ground up before the Super Bowl. I found myself in a very familiar situation last year. Actually, I was down. Let's call it 3 units, a large amount for me. And I hit a first touchdown Rob Gronkowski in the Super Bowl to give myself some air again. So I don't want to do that again, but let's hit some good stuff leading into the Super Bowl. How about it? So these are all NBA. I don't bet the NBA traditionally, but here we are. Pacers plus 2.5. I have I've taken all these minus 110s. We can find me better lines, then so be it. But I bet all these at minus 110 because I'm a square. Pacers full game plus 2.5. Jim, I liked your breakdown of it today. I felt the rhythm, the power, the movement. It's a weird line, like you said, for the Bulls. I just think the Pacers, they come out. Darryl did this a lot too. Come out. I think they win the game. So I'm going to take the plus 2.5. I'll also take Hornets first half minus 2.5 as the I don't give a fucking shit what the spread is play. Maybe I'll put my hex on it this time, but it's minus 2.5 for me. Have to tail it, of course. And my last play, Jim, I'm riding with you. You're very confident on your Toronto Raptors. So I'm going to take them to minus 2.5 full game too. I roll with you here. These are all 3 plays that I've bet, and I'll be sweating out tonight. So let's hope that the NBA is actually a decent sport to me tonight.
So that Hornets first half minus 2.5. Let me just make sure I can get you at minus 110. And I can at Circa because it's juiced at Pinnacle, which is a good sign. So we can get you both the plus 2.5 full game on the Pacers, the Hornets first half minus 2.5, and then you're on the Raptor show. Now the problem with the Raptor show is the market has moved quickly with this Collins news that he might be not in the lineup. So it's 3.5.
I was kind of surprised. I watched that game because I had the Hawks or not the Suns, and I saw him hurt his shoulder. I'd be surprised kind of if he played,
Well, I have good news. We can get you a 3. So let's just get you a 3. Minus 3, minus 107, low vig over at Pinnacle.
Sure.
There you have it. Oh, by the way, for the poker players here like Top Set and Nutflush, do know that we are real poker players. And I don't mean that we'll be tough competition in the tournament. We probably won't. But there'll be a cash game that will be in the corner. And if you're eliminated from the tournament, there will be a cash game going on that will, I'm sure, be fucking incredible and monstrous. So we're not just, we play poker. There's a fucking tourney going on and a cash game that will start probably an hour after the tourney starts. So don't worry. We're not, if you're coming to San Antonio to make money, you can do it.
You got an opportunity. Yeah, you definitely have an opportunity.
Yeah, that's the truth, man. Piker says no one backing Omicron. Are you
Who is
surprised?
he on again?
Omicron is on the Cavaliers. Were you surprised Omicron's a man, or did you expect Omicron to be a man?
Well, men are shitheads, so women are obviously the clearly superior gender in all this. So I'm not surprised at all. I am surprised.
Is
like
your
Matty
girlfriend
Ice
in the room? Is your girlfriend in the room?
No. I'm just a simp. Sorry.
Yeah,
but
yeah.
I was surprised when Matty Ice mentioned this Omicron Irish. Did not expect that. Did not expect Omicron to be a little Irish, huh? Weird move.
Well, we'll see.
Omicron. By the way, I don't want to be mean. Omicron looks like he's gained some pounds too, from his last appearance on riding the ponies with us. I don't know. Omicron, what happened? Is that winter weight? What are we doing?
Well, we'll see. If Omicron cashes Cavs plus 4.5, we'll be welcomed back. He'll be welcomed back.
I mean, maybe if it doesn't cash, I don't know. I think he was actually he's a good rapper too. You saw those bars. I forgot to mention that. He's got bars for days.
Yeah.
Can you freestyle? You got the Bobano touch on you?
Well, yeah, of course I freestyle, man.
Okay. I can't because English is my second language. So
nobody was wondering if you could, though.
oh well, maybe.
Let's go back to the action in San Antonio.
Okay, hold on. But first,
I can't get my mouth around that thing. Oh
okay.
God, I didn't need that. I didn't need that to close the show.
I did.
Let's go back to the action that's going to be in San Antonio. There's going to be a ton of it. So everything is figured out gambling wise, and I can't fucking wait. I can't wait. But that Saturday night's going to be pretty special with the poker. So I'm very, 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 very excited.
I'm excited too.
It's time to put a bow on this and move into the weekend and add the action that I want to add because there's a few bets that I would like to add. Mark Schillingberg says, I love playing poker, man. I really wish I could come to San Antonio. You guys are going to have a blast. Hopefully I can see y'all on the East Coast at some point. We're definitely going to do that. Po Buddy's Nervous says, engagement ring budget is 3 months salary. How many months salary to play poker? Wham says, hit the like button, family. Trot Wham was the last winner of a poker tournament that we had with the group. He picked up $2K in that tourney. So Wham's not to be messed with. I can't wait. I'm
the next one too.
Top Set says, what hotel? We have the first hotel that's locked down with our deal, but we want multiple hotels, and each hotel is blocking off 25 rooms. We'll have it. The hotel will be locked down for you guys with the deal. What we need you to do is get the flights as soon as possible because they're cheap. They're so cheap right now. So get the flights. And
especially because it's early. Don't worry.
Look at this. Right when you thought that the show was over, Ron Crawford comes in. Matty Ice says, how much is the buy-in for that poker tournament? We're discussing that right now. We're discussing. I mean, it's not going to be $20.
Damn it. All right, well, I guess I'm out.
It's not going to be $20, you know?
I'm gonna need every dollar I can for the fucking stakes. I shouldn't be making these bets right now.
Yes, it's not going to be like we're all really good friends, but we all are gamblers and we want to make money. So it's not going to be $20. It's not a $20 buy and poker tournament. If 50 at the absolute minimum is at the absolute minimum, it'll be 50 at the fucking minimum. But shout out to Ron Crawford. He's on the Philadelphia 76ers spreadsheet play of the day. There we go. And Big Ragu Ixnizzle. Big Ragu says Top Set bet the first half under 24.5 in the Super Bowl. 12-0 in sides and totals, 12-3 overall in the playoffs from the Big Ragu. That's it. That was our show. That was very, very fun today. Nice way to end the day. We were on such a big streak until yesterday. So let's get right back to our winning ways. Again, in college basketball, we've gone over everything in NBA. In college basketball, Maxwell Smart is on PFW, Purdue Fort Wayne, first half -5.5 plus 125. VMI, Virginia Military, team total over 82.5 for plus 101. Oakland, first half -1.5, -105. The Grizz in action there. Toledo, team total over 80.5, -120 in Maction. And then Siena, -4.5 and -108. Jose, that's it, my man. You want to well, first let's thank everybody. JT, Real Deal Prime, Top Set, Josh Easley, Trotwan, Big Ragu, Ixnizzle, Poker Addicted 79, Nut Flush Allen, Maddie Ice, Po Buddies, Nerfic, Unc Oliver, and Tata. We love both of you guys. Mark Schillingberg, Dennis Garcia, Joe Yurkovich play of the day. Hornets -4.5. So locked it in last night. Let me copy and paste Joe Yurkovich's action. Let me get that right here.
And Jim, you know, people keep asking. You've already teased out one of the events that we're doing. You've already said that we're going to the old Sweet 16 game. I think we should talk about the other. Almost said the forbidden words. I think we should talk about the other basketball game that we potentially could be probably are attending.
We definitely are attending it. It is on the 30th. That is Wednesday the 30th. We are
You know
seeing
the schedule.
sweet Ja Morant, Memphis Grizzlies, San Antonio Spurs. So those are the two sporting events we have locked down. The 24th, Sweet 16. It's the AT&T Center, right? That's what you guys call it in San Antonio, AT&T Center. So the 24th, we have the Sweet 16 at AT&T Center, and then we'll come back 6 days later for Grizzlies Spurs. The trip's 24th to 31st. So those are the two sporting events that we're locked in, that we have locked in. So good call, man. That's gonna be it's gonna be a lot of fun. We're gonna have a lot of action on that game. I love having action on a live game. I can just
It
I can
is.
taste the outcome.
I was just gonna tell you that there might be another announcement coming soon, because you've kind of mentioned the other sport that is kind of figuring itself out right now. May not start soon, but maybe some other announcements involving that sport coming up soon. Who knows?
I'm excited that Nufflechan says, "Will Jimmy be heckling like Miami?" I don't have any recollection of heckling
What
in
I said.
Miami. I was pretty liquidated. I do remember being up 8-1 in the fourth inning. The Phillies were up 8-1 in the fourth inning, and I had a first 5 minus a half, and I lost it.
I remember you telling me about this.
I fucking lost it. Chase White, what's happening? Dennis Garcia said you don't go to watch a game in San Antonio to watch Ja. You got to watch DeJounte Murray. Look, I get it.
Jimmy, can I admit something to you? You say DeJounte's Murray name wrong every single time.
Well, because I don't pronounce the J.
It's DeJounte.
To you, other people, his parents. I mean, I don't know. You guys pronouncing the J is not the way everybody. I mean, you're not. I don't know.
You should pronounce my name with the J.
All right. I'll call him.
Okay.
DeJounte. I'll call him DeJounte if you want that. But in San Antonio, do you think everybody will be pronouncing a hard J on that?
Yeah.
Do you do?
Oh yeah, absolutely. 100%.
Okay.
Wait, the arena announcer will say DeJounte Murray for sure.
But he has no respect for the Hispanic culture.
Not bitch me. Coconut, my man. Coconut right here. Brown on the outside, extremely white on the inside.
Jose, could you please, for the love of God, let us out of here?
I don't know. You sure you don't want this show to be 3 hours? We can keep going. We've got another 30 minutes. We got another 30 minutes.
Let's see this more.
Let's go get those fucking bookies. Fuck you, Gus. Leche a los bookmakers. Hey, have a good weekend, everyone. Let's fucking roll out.